It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta. Tied at 3, first and second, one out the pitch. Swinging a ground ball right side. That's going to sneak into right field, a base hit. Fernandez being waved around third. Here comes the throw by Garcia. It's off target, and the Diamondbacks have taken the lead. Will be Brea on the dribble. Throws left side Manuch, who thought about the 3, instead gave it back to Brea, who drives, floats into Manuch for the jam time on the alley-oop.
Well, the D-backs exit New York with a W. The Suns season begins with an NBA play-in matchup against the Trailblazers, and Rory is king of the green grass at Augusta. We are presented today by Lerner and Rowe. Just make one call, that's all. Lerner and Rowe, one call, that's all.
Let's get ready to rumble!
It's on. It is on. Manuch, welcome everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We are here, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app. I am so done with garbage NBA games. And people say, oh, did you see how Kobe Bryant played last night? He made 6 of 9 attempts for 3. No, stop. He's not going to see any minutes at all coming up tomorrow night unless there are injuries, Manuch.
And I'll tell you what, hopefully the Suns will be able to rumble if they have if you have a Jalen Green out, you have a Grayson Allen out.
Boy.
Depending who's going to be playing, because they're going to need all hands on deck versus this Portland Trailblazers team. And, yeah, I'm excited. 9 more wins than last year. 36 wins last year, 45 this year, going to the play-in tournament. Interesting looking at last year, they lost 9 out of the last 11 games to miss the play-in by 1 spot. And we thought, well, sooner or later they're going to mix in a win. They didn't. Yeah, because I remember Bill was healthy, Kevin was healthy, you had KD was healthy, and they missed it by 1 game and didn't get out of the play-in. This year, you flip the script, you win 45 wins, 9 more than last year. You're going to the play-in game. I think a lot of Suns fans are like, hallelujah, did hell freeze over after what we saw last year? And to see some, I wouldn't say some key changes, but when you have 2 individuals come in that didn't contribute together all at the same time is pretty much going to be I think the curiosity factor of how these guys all play together if they're all on the court at the same time.
All right.
I'm happy as a Suns fan that we made a big move into the play-in. Hopefully we get to the playoffs, because a lot of folks, the doubters, the naysayers, all those so-called expert pundits in the NBA did not see the Suns making the play-in, let alone a chance at the playoffs.
We said on Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B at the beginning of the year, all 3 of us said, play-in, they have a real chance to be a play-in team. Not a playoff, but a play-in team. Manuch, did they sit at the number 7 spot for almost 2 months?
Yeah, a long
time. It sure felt like it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that was, it's interesting, listening to the post-game show last night coming home and seeing the defensive stats pre-All-Star game. The Suns were in one of the top 10 defensive teams in the NBA.
Right.
To your point, the last post-All-Star, and I think this was John talking about this, one of the, obviously, bottom 10 defensive stats. So I think to that point there, Jimmy B, I think it's that their defensive lapses, guys getting to the rim. We talked about the great matadors on the court for the Suns. Olay going to and from. That was a huge discernment, not only for Suns fans, but Jordan Ott talked about that. He bemoaned the factor of guys getting to the rack uncontested. And then obviously the rebounding really shown in the last, I'm going to say, month. That the Suns' size really was depicted to be one of the main culprits for the lack of the Suns rebounding, and specifically offensive rebounding to the second chance points that the Suns, I think the majority of the games were, I want to say one of the bottom 5 as far as second chance points.
Look, I'm excited for tomorrow night. I really am. It's nice to have playoffs back. Playoffs? I can't help it. Every time somebody does playoffs, I can't help but do that. It drives me nuts.
I love that teams do have a chance.
Yes.
To get into the playoffs.
They do.
If the Suns win, they will take on San Antonio.
Yep.
If they lose, they will take on the winner of the the loser of the Golden State Clippers game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, you got 2 more shots.
You got 2 chances
to make it right, and at that point, Suns have played San Antonio pretty damn good. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. You got to win tomorrow night against Portland.
All right, the Blazers are a pretty decent team. They're not great. They're not really good. They're just a decent play-in team. And so, to be honest with you, on paper, I look at it as a pretty even matchup. All right, so the Diamondbacks are in beautiful Baltimore. You ever been to Baltimore, Manuch?
Played the Colts there.
There you go.
Stadium at the old Memorial Stadium, about 2 blocks away from the bay right there.
Yeah, well,
the inlet.
They've torn it down.
Oh, I know that. By the way, all those stadiums I had a chance to play in, very fortunate. The old Shea Stadium, Baltimore Stadium, the Orange Bowl. Let's see, I can think of all the old stadiums back in the day. That clubhouse, the Baltimore Orioles clubhouse, or formerly the Colts, probably one of the nicest, oldest facilities. So you pretty much could spread out. You had a nice locker room. Showers had running hot water.
Hot water? Wow.
Yeah. Oh, let me not forget the old Cleveland Browns Stadium, too. What a hack that was.
That was a trash bag.
But the old Shea Stadium, you know, you might have had 10 feet by 10 feet for a locker room, no running hot water. When you clicked off this thing, I knocked the mud off my cleats from the last game, right? So I knocked the mud off, and I turned my shoes upside down to get whatever out. This roach that was dead. This roach was dead.
Well, you killed it, I'm sure.
My stench. This sucker must have been 3 feet long, if that. So I go, oh, my gosh. And I went, we're in Shea Stadium. and for all of you that know that Queens area, it's where the World's Fair is. Shea Stadium is right there.
Yep, right next to it.
But the best charm of them all, I would have to say, was the Orioles Stadium back in the day.
Memorial Stadium.
Memorial Stadium. Yeah, the charm that was.
I did O's games out of that stadium.
I'll give you one more. The old Jack Murphy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the Murph in San Diego.
The Padres and the Chargers.
Yes.
I like that locker room. I'll give you one more. Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
Oh, yeah. Raiders.
I love that locker room. That was before the sewer was backing up back in the day. There and in San Diego. But what I enjoyed about those stadiums was the grass infield combo.
Okay.
That was a blast to play on. You had to have your 3/4-inch cleats.
Yes.
And to play in those stadiums. So, yes, I did like playing in Baltimore.
It is a matchup with the Orioles. It is a series that begins tonight for the D-backs. They get out of out of Philadelphia against the Phillies, winning that series. Manuch, this is a team now that has won 6 of their last 8 games and is playing really good baseball.
And don't look now, Paul Sewell's gotten 3 saves.
He has.
Out of those 8 games. He's really dealing. And I mentioned this on Friday. Jimmy with Roc and I were talking about, where you and I were talking about the young guys coming in and doing an outstanding job. I mean, you look at Vargas coming in, playing 2 positions in one game. How about our boy Jose Fernandez?
Yeah, Jose
playing third and first base. Yeah. And Del Castillo coming in and getting a key hit, as we'll hear in our Learner 101 call. That's all. So the guys are coming in, are contributing. And I love seeing the guys coming off the bench contributing and winning the last 6 out of 8 games. And the bullpen really holding down the lead and striking, especially in that last night's game, or the yesterday afternoon's game, striking out the side. But how about this? The Phillies, runners on first and third, no outs. Strikeout, pop up, double play on the infield. The steal was on. And sure enough, they get the double play to get out of that huge inning and not allow Philly to tie that bad boy up.
Rory McIlroy is a back-to-back winner at the Masters. It was unbelievable theater to watch. Manucci tried to give it away, especially on the 18th, where he shanks his drive off to the right, and he's lucky that it was sitting in the straw, and he had a shot around the trees, which he converted, then pitched onto the green, and then 2 putts for the win.
He was very fortunate, as you mentioned, to have that 2-shot lead. Because that bad boy went right. I mean, that's in jail.
Yeah.
I mean, the pines over there, they're large, they're huge. You just happen to have an opening. Thank you, golf gods, is I think what Rory McIlroy is probably saying this afternoon. But I will say this, Scotty Scheffler on Saturday, not 1, but 2 that went left, hit a tree, came back out. Shane Lowry had the same situation where the golf gods must have been smiling down on this great day, great week of golf and weather for the Masters.
Why does that happen for the pros and it never happens to some jerk like myself? If I'm into the trees, it's gone into the trees. It never hits the tree and bounds out into the fairway.
Jimmy, what people say, if you're living right, the good Lord smiles on you. And for you, I mean, the jerk that you are, he understands that. So he's going to have you frustrated for being the jerk you are. See how that works, Jimmy?
No, that's
called the karma.
I qualify in all of that. Thank you so much. Hey, coming up, it's our replay rewind. We're just getting started, everybody. It is indeed Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN Radio 620, also on the FM dial 98.7 HD-2 and the Arizona Sports app.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch. You push hard. You train hard. Shouldn't your soda work just as hard? Meet Who Knew, the superfood nutrition soda packed with whole vitamins, electrolytes, and antioxidants. Only 5 grams of natural sugar. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Voted the #1 soda for athletes. Whole food nutrition. Great taste. That's Who Knew. Go to HUNUsoda.com and use code ESPN for 10% off your first order. Who Knew Soda. Soda that's actually good for you. HUNUsoda.com. Code ESPN.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe, where you go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
I work for the Arizona Department of Public Safety Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Unit. Any idea why I stopped you today? No, sir. I stopped you for distracted driving. Arizona law prohibits the use of electronic devices unless they're hands-free. Truck drivers see everything, except their blind spots. Cutting off a truck is like cutting off a freight train. It's dangerous, so stay focused on the road. Visit sharetheroadaz.com to learn how to drive truck smart.
Sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation and the Arizona Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Action! When I grow up, I want to be a director because they get to talk to everybody about everything. They get to make cool movies and dance music videos.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
And when I'm a director, I get to say, lights, camera, action.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
That's a wrap.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
Welcome back in, everybody. We roll all the way until 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. It is indeed our replay rewind. Let's don't waste any time. Hey, look, a lot of guys that don't get a lot of playing time played for the Suns in last night's final regular season game. Here is a big-time throwdown right now.
Topic on the dribble against Huntley, gets into the left block and then throws it away. It's a steal for Dunn. He goes coast to coast to the rim and throws it down. A big-time thunder jam for Ryan Dunn, who's putting on a show tonight in Oklahoma City. He leads all scorers with 18 points.
So it was nice to see him have a good game, Manuch.
It was nice to see at least 7 guys in double figures.
Yeah.
I just called that, I call it quality reps / scrimmage.
That's
against
fair.
OKC. I think that, you see like a pickup basketball game. That had some meaning to it. The guys did a good job. They came in. You could see that this G League / group of backups / rookies, they looked under control.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan had them running sets.
Yes.
And I thought that was impressive that they went out there and said, hey, look, I think if I was any one of those guys, I want to prove why I can contribute.
Yep.
I want to prove why I belong in the NBA, whether you're playing the JV team or not. But I thought it was very organized. Then when you win by 32-some points,
right,
that says a lot about the enthusiasm that these guys getting an opportunity to shine in a meaningless game.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the Suns highlight and the next few as well. The game tomorrow night means everything. It is the play-in tournament starting. Games that are totally meaningful. Every possession will be meaningful. It is between Portland and the Phoenix Suns. After the win last night, Jordan Ott, coach of the Suns, says this about getting ready for the Blazers.
I mean, we know they've been playing well lately. It's a really good defense. It's been top 5 defense the last 20 games. They're in a different coverage where they just funnel everything to the big. So defensively, they're super active, long on the wings, play super physical, and then offensively, they drive it. They play fast in transition, and they drive the basketball. So, it'll be a challenge. It's the same challenge that we've seen with them before. How do we take care of the basketball? They go to the offensive glass, so that'll be a battle. Both of us go to the offensive glass. So the possession game is super important. And then can we contain the drives? Got to contain the drives, knowing that they play as fast as anyone in the West. So, good challenge.
I thought it was interesting where you said they try to funnel everybody toward the bigs. That big is Donovan Clingan. This is his second year out of UConn. He's legit 7'1", maybe 7'2", and has really found himself, Manuch, in the second season.
And let's not forget the last time these Suns played at Portland, they got beaten 92-77. That was one of those games you talk about. Clingan had 23.
Yeah.
He had 13 rebounds. Holiday had 7 assists. Clingan had the night of all nights. But that was one of the worst offensive performances that the Suns had. When you look at that game and you go, wow, 92-77. That was back on February 22nd. So you're looking at about, 6 weeks ago?
Right.
And again, these guys got some shooters.
They do.
They got themselves. They could not miss, as I recollect, in that third
They were
quarter.
on fire in that game.
They were on fire, and then to your point, Clingan was just, I went, wow, this kid's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
To watch him for an entire game go up and down the court and then pretty much clean the boards, clean the glass like they did. And that's the other thing, too. They had the dominant size, rebounding, and offensive rebounding against the Suns that night.
I'm with you on that. It's going to be interesting to see how Mark Williams matches up with him, and if indeed if he can play him straight up. So it's going to be a fast-paced game tomorrow night against the Blazers. All right, baseball. Well, we talked a little bit in our first segment about what the Diamondbacks have able to do in Philly and also in New York against the Mets. And they have won 6 of their last 8. They have a date in Baltimore tonight against the Orioles. Let's get it going right now. Top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, the 1-2 pitch is on the way. Swinging a hard hit line drive left center field. That is going to be down for a base hit. Perdomo is going to be sent around third. Here comes the throw by Turner. It's cut off, and we're tied at 3. Jose Fernandez coming through once again. Man, is this kid making his mark.
He is making his mark, Manuch. He's been very solid since that very first time that we saw him when he hit 2 home runs.
Well, here's a young man that played 2 positions. He played third base and first base yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, he is the ultimate quality, I would say utility infielder that can play one of the positions. Now, that base hit for a mature kid, 22-year-old kid. I mean, yesterday, you look at him, he was 2 for 4. He's hitting .333.
Yeah.
And he's playing a lot. And I really like, this team playing him a lot, getting him incorporated into the lineup and just kind of allowing him to kind of go through the process.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there'll be times he'll go through a lot of downs, but he's up right now. But talk about key clutch hit in that 8th inning was really key. And the way he runs the bases, too, the extra bases, coming in at home plate, diving head first. For a kid that's 6'3", about $170, soaking wet, he's really answered the bell in these games so far this season.
All right, so I heard a soundbite with Torrey about Fernandez, and he says that he's up around 190 to 200.
He's up there? When did you hear that?
That's what he said. I saw it like a couple days ago. Somebody asked him about that, and he said, yeah, he's pushing the scale now, 190.
I'm not buying it.
You're not? Okay.
Most sleekest, leanest 190 I've ever seen. I might give him 170 if that. But suffice to say, I like his strength.
Yeah.
Strong hands, quick stroke, and drives the ball. Doesn't get caught up in trying to hit the home run.
All right. Speaking of the skipper, this is what he had to say about what Jose Fernandez has done so far.
He's a good player, and we're enjoying this run with him. And he's got some incredibly big at bats. He knocks the ball down, stops it from going into the corner in the first inning. We're going to turn it into a double play to end the first. So all of what he's doing is translating. And I don't want him to just be judged by the at bats. He's a good baseball player. He's very smart, but certainly the at bats have been weighted and huge. And that double or that single to score the tying run was a massive at bat for sure.
You hear a lot of coaches in football say he's a good football player. Yeah. He knows the game, he can play the game, and he's a good baseball player. That line drive at first base, he dove and got that, and they got a double play. Literally saved the double down that right field line. Yep. Third base, he's done that. He's just a good all around. He makes contact. He runs the bases very well. He fields very well. He's got good baseball savvy for a 22-year-old young man that's playing major leagues. The other thing I liked, I think it was over the weekend that Torrey he was asked about Jose Fernandez. He said he asked a lot of questions. So he's involved in the game. He wants to know the game.
He's inquisitive.
He's a guy that's baseball savvy because he's interested in the game and trying to be better and not just be there, but be there with a purpose.
So it is a date in Baltimore tonight, beginning of the series against the O's. So yesterday, Rory McIlroy ends up going back-to-back, winning the Masters. He is only the 4th golfer to do that. Manuch, it is Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and do you know who the 3rd is by chance off the top of your head?
See, Jack, Tiger.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I know that Scheffler didn't win it back-to-back. He was 1-2.
Nope.
I give up. Who's it?
Nick Faldo.
89 and 90. I knew that. I just knew that. I could see that. 89 and 90. Nick Faldo, the last time. That's impressive.
Okay, here we go. This is Rory winning.
His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Thank you to CBS for the highlight. I'm telling you right now, the drive off of 18 when he swiped it into the trees. I'm going, what the hell?
That wasn't a fade. That was a slice.
It was a slice.
I mean, that ball started. I love the tracker.
Yeah.
And it starts going right and right and right. Oh, my gosh, he's going to blow it. I mean, is this Greg Norman reincarnated all over again? Because they kept showing that Larry Mize playoff with Greg Norman.
Yes.
After Norman blew, a 4-stroke lead.
Yes. Even worse was Jean Van de Velde. Remember that?
Oh,
the
yes.
British Open.
Yes.
He had like a 7-shot lead and blew it.
But I'm talking the Masters.
I know.
We'll get to that sooner or later.
I'm just throwing it.
But I'm going, no, Roy, you can't be. But you got to remember, to be 6 after 2 rounds, to be up by 6, and to kind of scruffle up lists around the course in the 3rd round, to get his wits about him, to kind of get his focus and make shots he had to chip it out, not try to be a hero, leave it in the sand, and then 2-putt for the win. It says a lot about his mental capabilities on the golf course.
I'm with you on that. Here he is talking about how he got ready for Masters Week.
I honestly just don't like the 3 tournaments leading up to this event. I'd rather come up here. I did a couple of days where I dropped Poppy to school, flew up here, played, landed back home, and had dinner with Eric and Poppy. Like I did a couple of day trips like that where I felt like that was a better use of my time than going to Houston or San Antonio. So wasn't really about conserving energy, but I felt, the more time I could spend up here, the better.
Manuch, with all of the money that you made as a former NFL player, did you take day trips like that?
No, I didn't.
On your private jet?
No, it's tough to go in my Grand Prix from Buffalo back to Phoenix or Manhattan, Kansas. I got it was the Frontier Airlines or United or American coming and going. You know what? I can respect what he's saying.
Oh, absolutely. I get it.
It's the Texas Open in Valero. He passed. And now that's not an indictment on those tournaments.
No.
He doesn't like him because he wants to make sure he's ready to go for this Masters. And he has a chance. I commend him. He has a chance to win back-to-back, which, as you just pointed out, just rare. There's been only 3 other individuals that have done it. And then to come and just stay focused, to be able to have those shots in his bag because he's familiar with it from the last 3 weeks of playing the course.
Yeah, good stuff. And congrats to Rory McIlroy. Hey, today's Replay Rewind presented by Lerner and Roc. Interact. Need a check. Just make one call. That's 602-977-1900. You can always check them out online, lernerandroc.com. Once again, Interact. Need a check. Lerner and Roc. One call, that's all. 602-977-1900. When we come back, roughly 10 days until Pittsburgh. And why am I saying Pittsburgh? That is the NFL draft. We know the number 1 pick is going to be the quarterback out of Indiana. That is Fernando Mendoza. But what is going to happen after that? Well, Rudy Carpenter is going to be our guest, and he is coming up next. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks took 2 of 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend, and now the road trip makes its final stop in Baltimore as they open up a 3-game set against the Orioles. Ryan Nelson gets the start for Arizona, while Dean Kramer will take the mound for Baltimore. First pitch is set for 3:35 with pregame coverage beginning at 3 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns' regular season has come to an end after going 45-37 and securing the number 7 seed in the Western Conference. They now prepare for the play-in tournament where they will host the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow night at the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix. When it's game time, it's Big's time. Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria is one of the best spots in the valley for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. Check them out all weekend long, and we will be live there tomorrow as the Suns host the Blazers for the first game of the play-in tournament.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard and always online at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out righttoyota.com.
When driving in Arizona, move over or slow down for any flashing lights. Move over for tow truck drivers, highway crews, and emergency responders. Move over for any vehicle with its hazards flashing. Because at 65 miles per hour, a vehicle travels over 95 feet in 1 second. 1 second that could change everything. When you move over for anyone, you're not just doing it for them, you're doing it for their families. Their lives are flashing before your eyes. Move over, Arizona. Every vehicle, every time. It's the law. Please visit moveoveraz.org. This message is brought to you by ADOT and this station.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potock Private Philanthropy.
Before you fly, take a trip to your local MVD office or authorized third-party provider with your required documents and get the new AZ Travel ID with the Gold Star for your new driver's license or ID. Starting May 2025, this new AZ Travel ID gets you through TSA security checkpoints. It's quick and easy. Think of it as your license to fly. Learn how to get your new ID at aztravelid.com. Sponsored by ADOT in partnership with the Arizona Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil and NFL quarterback Rudy Carpenter, who went 3-0 against that team in Tucson.
Deep ball again by Rudy Carpenter. He reads it, it's zone coverage, gets behind the safety.
Rudy Carpenter now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We roll all the way until 4 o'clock. It's always fun when we have a chance to catch up with former ASU and NFL QB Rudy Carpenter. By the way, you can follow him on X at RudyGCarp12. That's Rudy G Carp 12. Rudy, welcome as always. So now roughly about 10 days away from Pittsburgh. You working as a agent and also as a person that has players that you work with. Are you already jacked up for the draft, or are you just trying to stay calm so that you can keep the people that you represent calm?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, this for me, I'm a little desensitized to it, right? In the sense that I've gone through it myself as a player, and now I've gone through, I think, 7 or 8 drafts. Well, actually, let's see. I've gone through 6 drafts, 7 drafts as an agent, 1 draft for myself, and then I think I went through 2 to 3 drafts where I wasn't an agent, but I was working with players, working for their agencies. So, yeah, I mean, it's a hectic time. It's an anxious time. It's a nervous time. If you just think about it from the player standpoint, right, sometimes they have wives, sometimes they have girlfriends, sometimes they have kids, whatever, and they're sitting here saying, hey, like, right now I'm living in a hotel, I'm living in an Airbnb, I'm living back home with my parents, I'm living in my apartment back on my campus at school, and in 10 days from now, in 2 weeks from now, I'm going to be watching TV and I'm going to find out all of a sudden, you know, what new city I'm living in, what new team I'm playing for, how my life is going to completely change. And for all they know, they're living in, you know, Raleigh, North Carolina, and they get drafted to, you know, the Seattle Seahawks or, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Cincinnati Bengals, you know, a place where they've never been, a state they don't know, a coaching staff they don't know, players they don't know, a scheme and a system they know nothing about, and their whole entire life is going to get uprooted and change. But at the same time, it's what you've been dreaming for and waiting for your entire life. And then on top of that, you look at this, and the draft is, I always say the draft is really about, you know, how much money you're going to be paid and how many mistakes you're going to be allowed to make. And what I mean by that is typically the higher that you get drafted, the more money you make, the more money you're making, the more money that they're putting into you, the bigger the investment they put into you initially just means that the more, opportunity you're going to get, or the more chances that they're going to give you when you make mistakes. And so, that's really what this is all about. It's a fun, anxious, but also nervous time for these people.
Boy, Rudy, just hearing you talk about all those, the ramifications and the minutia that is in all of it at nowadays versus when I came out in 79 to when you came out, and you just kind of sit there. It seems like it gets added on more and more and more. I mean, as a player, how do you keep them from, walking off the ledge and not being quite so anxious, to just preparing them to just say, hey, look, this is what you're up against, and this is your commodity nowadays, I guess what you could say. How do you keep them calm to kind of understand what you just laid out?
It's really, really difficult. You can't. Every player is different. Every player reacts different. Every family is different. You really have to, do your best to just try to tell the player, like, listen, man, like, you can only control what you can control, and this draft process and where you're going to get drafted and who's going to draft you and what round. None of that is anything that you can control. And so to me, it's like, and the best thing to do is just to sit back and enjoy the process and understand that when you were 5 years old, when you were 6 years old, when you were 10 years old, before you really knew what money, politics, and all that stuff was, you would have just been extremely happy if someone told you you were going to have the ability to wear an NFL helmet just for a day, let alone get drafted, get paid, and make your dream come true. So to me, I know, like, I try to look at it like that. I try to tell these guys that, which is whether you're a second-round pick or a fifth-round pick or a sixth-round pick or a first-round pick, in a few weeks from now, you're going to walk into an NFL locker room, you're going to put on an NFL helmet, an NFL jersey, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-old you probably wouldn't have believed it. And if somebody even tried to tell you, okay, Mr. Player, you can either get drafted in this round for this much money or this round for that much money, and you would have said, I don't really care. I just want to go play in the NFL. I don't care where it is. Give me a chance. So I try to, I guess level set with guys, but at the end of the day, it's way too difficult. It's just something that these guys are just going to have to ride out and experience themselves.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Rudy, how do you see this draft? What does your, inside information tell you? Do you see a lot of teams trading up or down, or do you see this draft kind of going status quo with everybody staying at their number?
Oh, man. Shoot, I have no idea. And I don't really consider myself a pundit anymore. Look, these NFL teams spend a lot of money a year in scouting, spend a lot of money, per year in evaluating, a lot of money in building their draft boards and their personnel. And I don't see these guys going out there and telling agents and media people, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this, and we're going to do that. We're going to do this. So I think all of the information that's out there and anything that you hear, I just don't think that it's real. I think you can speculate and say, well, it would make sense for a team who's picking here to possibly do this, or it makes, let's just use the Cardinals as an example. Like, well, hey, the Cardinals picking where they're picking, that's typically a spot where you're trying to get, a quarterback. That's typically a spot where you're trying to draft, a franchise-type player at a franchise-type position, right? Whether it be quarterback, whether it be a left tackle, whether it be a defensive end, somebody who can completely interrupt or disrupt the game, change a franchise, right? It doesn't make sense to pick a running back, in my viewpoint, in the top 3. It doesn't make sense to pick a free safety or a linebacker in the top 3. I got nothing against those positions. Just you can find a lot of good players at those positions, later in the draft. So it makes sense if you're a team like the Cardinals saying, hey, they have They have so many positions. They have so many areas of need that it would make a lot of sense for them to trade back in the draft, to acquire 1 million draft picks, and to be able to go build that roster. That makes a lot of sense if you're the Arizona Cardinals. But at the same time, if you're the Las Vegas Raiders and you need a franchise quarterback, and you need a new quarterback, and you think that you found that guy in this draft, whether it be Ty Simpson, whether it be Fernando Mendoza, then you pick that guy, at that slot. So it just depends on where people are at and where their rosters are at, what the salary cap looks like for them as well.
Rudy, I appreciate you kind of sharing your week 10 days prior to, as Jimmy alluded to. The 10 days prior to, I can imagine that if there's any workouts left, they probably wrapped up this week. Is there still vetting? Is there still phone calls to the players up until the draft, or does that all stop this week as well, leading up into the draft a week from Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, there's, once you get a couple weeks out from the draft and all of the workouts are over and all of the, the visits are over and all that stuff is over, the teams, essentially the GM brings everybody back. He brings every scout back, every personnel back, all the coaches back. Everybody comes back and they all sit in their meeting rooms and they really, really build, or I should say not build, they complete their draft boards, right? And they sit there with the coaches, they sit there with the scouts, the GM, player personnel directors, college directors, NFL directors, and they talk about all the information they've gathered, all the late information they've gotten, all the just everything, and then they try to adjust their draft board based on that. And at the same time, they're going to have scouts or GMs that have their eye on a certain guy in the first round, and they're going to be trying to call that player and just touch base and see where that player is at, try to get information as to what teams are calling him, who you talking to, what do you and your agent think? Do you think you're still going to be there at 10 when we pick? Do you think you're still going to be there at 9 when we pick? Everybody's just playing a big game. But at this point, I think that the vast majority of the hay is in the barn. Sure. And it just comes down to, things that happened last second, like the Laramie Tunsil situation, right? Or all of a sudden the kid Bain from the University of Miami, where all of a sudden seeing information come out about him being in a car accident and the passenger dying, and he just got cited for reckless driving on that case. And there's a lot of stuff like that, but a lot of that type of information teams already know, and it's really just more about the public finding out, at a certain time. So, yeah, right now it's more about just, teams, the hay in the barn, and now there's just a lot of jockeying going on, a lot of smoke screens going on, a lot of BS being put out there so teams can try to position themselves a certain way.
Rudy, it's great having you on the show. Looking forward to next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, pal.
All right, guys. Yeah.
Here you go. That's Rudy Carpenter, everybody. Former NFL ASU QB. Now he operates as a trainer and also as an agent. And you can find him on X at Rudy G Carp 12. That's Rudy G Carp 12. All right. He's presented by Twin Peaks, 5 locations, and you can join us this Thursday. It's another live broadcast. We will be at the Scottsdale location, and it's all powered by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Happy hour every day from 3 to 6. Don't miss Michelob Ultra Specials every Thursday. It's Twin Peaks, Eats, Drinks, Scenic Views. Manuch, where are we going to be Thursday?
Thursday at the Scottsdale Twin Peaks.
Sounds like a plan to me. Hey, coming up next, everybody, it's a little on this day and then some football at 50. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops for the new Titleist Scotty Cameron Phantom Putter. The new Phantom Putters are precisely engineered to deliver softer feel, sharper distance control, and total confidence over every putt. Find your favorite Phantom today by testing out the new diverse neck configurations and tour-proven shaping. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963, and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota on this day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Once again, 4 o'clock is our get-off time. Tomorrow, we will be in Peoria at Big's American Bar and Grill. Looking forward to that. It's in the P83 district. So we'll be there doing the show once again, starting at 1 o'clock at Big's. All right, Manuch, let's do a little on this day.
On this day, in 1987, Ballesteros at 23 became the youngest winner to win the Masters. The 4-stroke victory ahead of Jack Newton and Gibby Gilbert.
Okay,
as we know. Yeah, I remember. So in 1997, you had Tiger Woods won it at 21 years old. And 4 months. But Seve Ballesteros, God rest his soul, what an outstanding golfer. Was the very first one, 1980. I remember this. It's like, wow, he's 23?
Yeah.
Seve who? And he really came on the scene from Spain as one of the top golfers who was he's a dominant factor in the European Golf Tour. Came over here, wins the Masters at 23 years old before Tiger did. 1997 at 21 years old and 4 months. 1980, remember this one very well. The U.S. and its allies boycott the Summer Olympics in Moscow.
Yeah, I hated it.
In protest against Russia's invasion of Afghanistan. Probably not one of the finer moments for Jimmy Carter, because I've known several guys on that Olympic, the relay team that was going to go over there to Moscow. Dwayne Evans is one of them. Willie Wood, they to this day. Willie, God rest his soul. Dwayne's still around town, was running the Cheetahs.
Okay.
The junior track club here for many, many years. To this day, he'll talk about that. But that's one of the best teams. Herman Frazier, the 400 meter from ASU. Dwayne Evans, they had Bruce Jenner was looking to renew his, decathlon. I mean, that was a phenomenal team that Jimmy Carter just said, no, we're not going. Big mistake by Jimmy Carter not to allow that Olympic team, that Summer Olympic team, to go over there and compete.
Here's a side note to that. I was working at Dallas at the time for NBC, and I was scheduled to be one of the broadcasters that would have gone to Moscow when that took place.
So that all came down.
That all came down.
On this date back in 1980.
Wow. I mean, I was still heartbroken I did not get a chance to go.
In 1984, your former broadcast partner,
Yeah.
Pete Rose of the Expos, gets his 4,000th hit, a double off of Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Jerry Koosman to join Ty Cobb as the only major leaguers to reach 4,000 career hits. It comes exactly 21 years after Rose delivered his first hit. 21 years later, his 4,000 hit. So there you go, a little on this day, Jimmy
I
B.
loved every moment of it. Thank you for all of that. It's time to do a little football conversation. It is presented by Wright Toyota. Right price, the right selection, always the right dealership. It's in Scottsdale, right on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. It is Toyota with the right deal for everyone. You can check out their full inventory of pre-owned certified vehicles under $15,000. Just go to righttoyota.com. That's righttoyota.com. All right, football breath, what do you got?
Little draft buzz. Teams are finishing the top 30 visits. We just heard Rudy Carpenter talk about that, with the so-called draft experts identifying 26 potential difference makers there, Jimmy B.
Okay.
Now, a lot of teams do this, but the Steelers and Cowboys are actively preparing for the draft, as they all are, with mock drafts and suggesting trades. So when you think about that, they're setting their boards up. I think Rudy should be teaching that class.
He should be.
Over at the ASU Sports Law Contract School.
Great.
He was great to say that because they're going through a lot of the moves to see what they can and can't do. So there's a lot of mock drafts, not only of who they're taking, but some of the trades. And now, speaking of some of the trades and roster moves, this is pretty late with 10 days to go. This happened over the weekend. The Eagles acquired wide receiver Dontavian Wicks from the Green Bay Packers for draft picks. The Colts are also looking to trade cornerback Kenny Moore II. So think about that. So there's a lot of movement going on, a lot of feelers going on, and I like how Rudy says, hey, look, there's a lot of BS going on out there.
Yeah.
Trying to throw this team off track or that team off track. I think what you hear is if most scouts, most GMs, most coaches kind of stick to the situation or the scenario and don't get blindsided, or I always call it ignore the noise, then I think you're pretty much on track. Unless you get a phone call and somebody gives you some kind of a Godfather offer. That could still happen, folks, up until 5 minutes before your draft choice. A little contract news, the Buccaneers, and we saw this coming, are expected to sign QB Baker Mayfield to a significant extension.
He's earned it.
He absolutely has. And as we expected, South Point Catholic's very own running back Bijan Robinson is looking to get a 5th-year option. I don't know. He could be – I would probably see – he may see a $50 to $75 million guarantee, maybe on par $20 to $25 million per year.
Okay.
And deservedly so.
I agree with that.
I mean, what he did in reference to with the Falcons, he probably single-handedly for a running back kept them or helped them win at least 3 games, kept them in 4 games. And as we saw, he was a huge factor for Kirk Cousins coming in at quarterback and utilizing him to that point where they missed the playoffs by at least 1 game.
Do you have Jeremiah Love in that Bijan Robinson category? Or is or Jeremiah, does he have a chance to get it back?
Jeremiah. Absolutely. Yeah, the talent is very similar. You look at Jeremiah Love and you look at his size, the way he catches the ball. He's probably a better receiver than Bijan Robinson.
Okay.
Now, Bijan can catch the ball.
Right, yeah.
They can both block. They can both run. Yards after contact. They've got that. So Jeremiah Love, when you look at him coming out in the draft, he reminds me a lot of the kid that came out for the Vikings.
Saquon Barkley?
No, Barkley doesn't quite have all the tool set.
Okay.
I'm thinking about he was, I can see him. Just big, tall, was with the Vikings, with the Cardinals.
Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson, yeah, thank you,
okay.
Glaz. Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that kind of a look, but he's got more to his game.
Okay.
I mean, they can utilize even more so. So I look at Jeremiah Love. He's going to be an outstanding pick. Now, rumor has it.
Notice, folks, how I set him up for this.
No, that rumor had the Jets are seriously considering.
They are.
One Jeremiah Love. Now they've got, I'm thinking the kid, Iowa State guy, I can't think today, their running back, Brees Hall. I mean, they've got him, but who's to say Look at the Lions the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They had their combination of home run hitters.
They did.
Guys breaking tackles after contact. So don't be surprised if the Jets were to do something like that. But I think he'll be gone by somewhere in the top 10.
Okay.
For somebody thereof. As we also mentioned, a little off-field and legal situation. The Department of Justice has opened an investigation into NFL broadcast rights. Now, Roc hinted at this last Thursday when we had Rick Horrell on, the sports professor, talking about some of the legal ramifications that are going on with the streaming. Mm-hmm. And remember we talked about antitrust violations?
I remember that.
That's going to be a huge part of what the Congress is looking at, investigations are looking at to make sure that there's no more antitrust violations. This is a sad note. This happened on late Friday. Former Jets and Louisville quarterback Brownie Nagel passed away at 57 years old. Brownie passed away of cancer. Yeah. And last but not least, another investigation. A panel ruled that NFL teams did not collude on quarterback deals. Remember that last year?
That, yep.
That young man in Cleveland, that kid that everybody said, well, why is he going in the fifth, sixth, and seventh round?
Oh, Shador.
Nothing to it. Nothing to see here. Let's keep moving. There's our football 50, Jimmy.
I like it, pal. Hey, we have Factor Fouhy coming up at the bottom of the hour at 2:30. But when we come back from our top of the hour timeout, U.S. Open, Steve Jones, former champion, is going to be our guest. We're going to dive into what Rory has done at the Masters. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people, with upfront pricing before the work starts, so there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603. Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
His year again. Rory is a rare repeat winner at Augusta.
Thank you to CBS for the end of the golf tournament yesterday. Welcome back in, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We are hanging out today, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2. Also, you can always listen on the Arizona Sports app, and we are chatting with Steve Jones. He is the former U.S. Open golf champion, and he is our guest right now. Steve, welcome, pal, as always. Let me begin with this. We saw how emotional it was when Rory McIlroy won the Masters last year for the first time. Can you explain to the audience, A, how difficult it is to win any tournament back to back? I just want to hear it from a guy who has been there and seen it.
Hey, great to be on there, guys. Yeah, obviously it's hard to win at all for some of us, but other guys win a lot more than normal. But yeah, to win a major back to back, that's really something special. Obviously, because of the history of it. If you look back and how many times it's been done, so it's pretty remarkable.
And Steve, to that point, how rare is it for him to spend 3 weeks there, to not go to Houston or San Antonio for the Texas Open and Valero Open and prepare for this? Because don't they say that, I don't know which one, either one of them is most like kind to Augusta to get a lot of guys ready for that Masters? And how rare is it for somebody to spend 3 weeks at the Masters practicing?
Well, the biggest thing is that it's just a totally different course the week of the tournament than it is usually a couple weeks before, because they usually keep it pretty soft. So you just can't get that right feel for it. But evidently he did the right thing.
Well, on top of that, you talk about doing the right thing. Watching him these last couple of years, what is it about Rory McIlroy when you watch him, Steve, as a professional golfer at a high level? Not so much that surprises you, that impresses you with these two victories at the Masters.
Well, it's a pretty good course for him because he can kind of hit wayward, every other hole.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got a lot of good breaks this week. I mean, that helped him to win when you not, like even the last hole, he could have been jammed up against the tree, punched out, made an easy double and be a playoff. But if Scheffler birdied the last hole and, he makes a double, then he doesn't win. But it was amazing how many times he hit it in trouble and got out. The short game was definitely A+, and he said it was A+. Driving wasn't, more like a B-, but I might even put it at a C. But yeah, he hits it so far, and that's usually a pretty good club for him. And he's definitely freewheeling it more now when he's got the career Grand Slam, and stating the obvious, but it looks like it's a lot easier for him.
Steve, in your estimation, where does that put Rory McIlroy in all golf history? Or does he still need to do some more to really move up on that board?
Well, let me add to that. How about, as far as history, how about just majors?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, what is it? Is he top 10 now? I don't even know.
Well, he's got six. Right, he's got 6 majors.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably one of the at least top 10 guys, right?
Yeah,
like that. I mean, Faldo's got, has Faldo got 6 now or something?
I believe so.
But Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's incredible. He's still in his prime. I mean, he's been in his prime for a long time. So there's definitely a lot of good golf left. I think he could get that driver a little bit straighter. He might win a little bit easier, and maybe by bigger margins like he used to when he was younger. But it was pretty exciting. I mean, Scotty had a chance. He just, had some missed opportunities there, and several guys did. I was pulling for Burns too, and he didn't do too well. But it was good to see. The leaderboard was amazing. There was lots of guys there. And a lot of people had chances to win.
Well, and Terrell had to see him, he's on the Live Tour, but at 34 years old to toil for as long as he has to take a run at it. But when you looked at as far as, clutch shots, there was 8 guys in the top 12, Steve, that have shot in the 60s. So there were some guys making some runs. So you talk about letting it loose. There's a lot of guys letting it loose and making up a lot of ground in that last round yesterday.
Yeah, it was fun to see. I mean, the weather was perfect. The greens actually were a little bit receptive. Fairways weren't that tough. They were holding pretty good. So I really kind of felt like it was going to go a lot lower because up in that maybe 15 to 18 under to win it because of the conditions. But Augusta's Augusta. I mean, guys are like, I could shoot 5 under in the back, and then they get in the tournament, and they shoot a couple over par or 5 over. It just, there's something, I don't know, it's almost, you get kind of mesmerized, like, this is, I can score on this back 9, and all of a sudden, if, you maybe 3-putt number 10 or hit it in water 11, like, I'm 3 over already. That just happened.
Just like that.
That's it. Hey, Steve, take me, because you've been there, you've played it, take me to that back 9. And what goes through your head? You were just discussing what the hell happened. Now I'm +3. How do you frame that, particularly if you're one of 3 or 4 or 5 golfers that is right in there in the hunt trying to win? How much extra pressure do you feel?
Well, I think everybody feels pressure. Some guys handle it better than others. I never was one that handled pressure that good. I didn't really care for it. I'd be sitting at home rocking the rocking chair, drinking iced tea or something. But it was fun to get into the mix when you're playing well. If you're not playing well, then you're really choking. But that 10, 11, 12 to me, and 12's not very long, so really 10, 11, but 12 kind of can be goofy in the wind. But if you can get through 10, 11, 12, even or 1 under, you can, you're looking at shooting, 4 or 5 under on that back 9.
Speaking of guys that made a run, Jordan Spieth, he ended up -5 in the tournament, shot a 68 yesterday's round. From what you can see, Steve, he was yesterday's darling, right? The new kid on the block coming up, phenomenal putter. Is his game, from what you've seen, starting to get back on track? Because how the young or how the mighty have fallen when you look at his game the last couple of years.
Yeah, ever since he had that blow up, number 12, how was that? Man, that must have been, was that 8 years ago?
No, easy. 8 to 9 years, yeah.
Yeah, ever since he did that, I mentioned it to a couple of people. I said, that's going to affect him. He gets real emotional a lot. And he does get, I think he's harder on himself. A lot of golfers are, but they're harder on themselves than a lot of athletes are than anybody else. So, but you got to move on. I mean, that's the thing about golf. You're mad that you should be 3 under and you're 1 over because I did this on this and that. You can't live like that. You got to live forward. You can't live behind you. And that's the biggest thing. You got to forgive yourself, move on, and just when you're playing good, you got a chance to win. And when you goof up, make dumb decisions, then you're not going to do as well.
I wish I could have had that advice right through those interceptions, Steve. Just forget about it. Move on. Let's go.
Well, you can ask this guy I'm sitting next to. I got a friend here for a few days. Went out and played Alice Cooper's tournament yesterday. And Mike Moore, 89 World Series pitcher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting right here, and you got something to ask him about that pressure?
I think he shook it off pretty good. I remember Mike Moore, outstanding pitcher, absolutely.
Hey, my question on the follow-up is this. Why do you think the majority of the live golfers did not score well? I mean, we saw DeChambeau, who was a betting favorite, didn't even make the cut. Sergio Garcia snaps the head off of his driver. He was so bent out of shape after he hit a bad drive. What's the deal there? Or can you equate it to anything?
Hatton's minus 10.
Jim. I know. I said the majority of them. I understand what Hatton did.
Oh, it's hard to tell. I'd love to. I don't know if they've been asked that question. How come you guys aren't playing better? You should, you're good players, but it happens to everybody. But obviously Terrell and then Mickelson was a couple years ago, finished really well, second or third or whatever. Some of them have played well, but it's hard to tell if it's just different because the competition, it's more of a party atmosphere out there, and then you get here and Augusta's roll. I don't know. It's like it just feels like can someone make some noise over there? It's too quiet. This is driving me crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too buttoned up.
But Mike pitching. They're yelling. Screaming at Mike and throwing pitches and blah blah blah. And then for us, it's like, okay, quiet down. I'm like, no, I kind of like it noisier, like Phoenix Open.
All right, Steve. That's great stuff. Look, for McIlroy, quickly, your take. How many more wins does it? Because you said he's still in his prime. Does he have 5-6 more wins in him, do you think?
Wins? Yeah, I think definitely wins. As far as majors, you don't know. I mean, he might win 2 more majors this year. He's got to get that driver figured out. I was shocked that he didn't hit 3-wood off the 18 as bad as he was hitting it, but maybe his 3-wood was worse. I don't know.
Okay. Pull out the 1-iron. You can hit that 1-iron, right, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, whatever iron he's got, he could probably hit 5-iron, 6-iron to that last hole. But he got it done, and that we'll see what happens in the future. But it was pretty exciting to watch, and even though the scores weren't, there's just a lot of people jammed in there. On there, like within 5 shots, and that's kind of fun to see.
Steve, it's always great, pal, when you're on the show with us. Thank you again for your golf expertise. Have a great day.
Hey, thanks for asking Mike more all the hard questions.
You want to give him the phone? We'll do a segment with him this next segment. If you want to give him the phone, we'll do a Major League Baseball segment and talk baseball.
Leave him alone. He's golfing. He's got the cigars and the.
Yeah, call me back and you'll get him.
Okay. All right. We're going to hold you to that. All right. When we come back, we're going to do a little quick baseball conversation with Mike Moore. We're also going to dive into the play-in game. It is tomorrow night, MMC, downtown Phoenix. It is the Trailblazers and the Suns. We're coming right back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views. Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people. With upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Celebrate the new season and enjoy springtime features at Rodizio Grill. Come try our new seasonal menu additions like salmon with passion fruit sauce, mint lamb, and so much more at no additional charge. And bring your loved ones to celebrate your special life milestones. Rhodesia's springtime features happening nightly through April. Celebrate spring and celebrate you at Rhodesia Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
And feeds Booker in the right corner. He fakes, steps to his left, jumps one up and in. Another three-pointer knocked down by Devin Booker. He's hit 2 tonight. 37 points to lead all scorers.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. Well, you didn't see Book last night or even the game before that. Everybody sat and rested. So now it's the real deal. NBA season over. Now playoff time has arrived. It is the Portland Trailblazers and the Phoenix Suns tomorrow night. It is a first-round matchup, number 7 matched up against number 8 in the play-in tournament. The winner of this game tomorrow night automatically moves into the playoffs. The loser still has a chance and will play the loser of the 9-10 game. Manuch, this is a matchup against the Portland Trailblazers for the Suns that is more than a winnable game for Phoenix if their best players can walk up and down the court and run a little bit.
Well, we told Laz to jump on and get the latest standings for this Phoenix Suns team on who's available, who's not available. Laz, is there any updates on, like, specifically, I think Jalen Green is probably the biggest one because I think Jalen Green and Grayson Allen are probably the two biggest question marks. Sounds like everybody else, as far as what I've seen, is going to be able to play tomorrow night.
Yeah, so funny enough, they still haven't updated it from the Oklahoma City game. So right now it looks like everybody's on there. But Mark Williams will come off. Royce O'Neal will come off the injury report, as will Devin Booker and Dylan Brooks. They just had to list some sort of injury so they could miss the game.
Right.
But the ones that will stay on there, Allen is still day-to-day with the left hamstring soreness. Jalen Green is still day-to-day with his knee injury. Other than that, I think everyone else should be good to go. And I think they will be good to go as well, but they are probably going to stick around on the injury report.
Manuch, this is a case in point where, as you always like to say, you got to have everybody on deck. All hands
Pretty
on
much.
Deck. Yeah, look.
In this instance.
Now it is the real deal. And there's no fooling around. You're not going to get players coming off the bench who saw minutes last night. I would assume that the bench is probably going to be shortened by odd, if indeed it is a tight game, and I anticipate it being a tight game, probably to 7, 8. I don't know if he'll go 9 players off the bench or not. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that to that point, if everybody is healthy, everybody's on the court, I think the rotation of 8 to 9 men, and it depends on the matchups. Now, we talked about a little bit earlier that really the domination that the Trailblazers had the last time they played this Suns team. They won with 97 to 72, something like that.
They beat them up pretty good.
They waxed the Phoenix Suns there in Portland.
They did.
So when you look at the league stats, the second chance points per game, we talked about this, right? The Portland Trailblazers have gotten 18.4. They lead the league in close to 19 points per game in second chance points.
Yes.
And the other area that we talked about, so that's the offensive rebounding from them where the Suns struggled. The other thing we also hit a little bit earlier, Jimmy, was that, the teams going to the rack on the Suns on a consistent basis. The Portland Trailblazers are third in the league as far as drives per game, going to the game, driving to the game, going down low and forcing the issue. And I'll never forget that game, not only the great shooting the Trailblazers had, and then also going to I remember this. It's February 22nd. I remember this like yesterday. Could anybody please throw a forearm shiver or knock down somebody going to the rack in that Portland game? That seems to be one of the biggest nemesis, those two areas right there. Offensive rebounding, second chance points off of turnovers.
Yes.
Suns were not one of the worst in the league.
Team, yeah.
And then, teams going to the rack. I mean, it just shows it right there in the NBA as far as the statistics. Those three statistics that the Trailblazers have an advantage of will be very key for this Suns team to get their defensive act together. And also, you look at the first half of the season pre-All-Star game, Suns were one of the top 10 defensive statistic teams. Post-NBA All-Star, they're in the bottom 10 as far as defensive statistics. What happened? So was it the injuries? Was it Jalen Green finally coming back? Was it that Devin Booker wasn't doing his part? He was scoring, but he wasn't playing defense. He's not a real good defensive player as it is. Was it Dylan Brooks? He was injured for a while.
He was.
What was it that allowed this team to slack and Cadillac, so to speak, as far as their defensive prowess that they had early in the season? So I think that's going to be a point of contention for this Portland game tomorrow night, too.
Also, Portland is a solid defensive team. They like to funnel their the guys they're playing defense against into the middle of the lane so that you can bring in the shot blocker, which is Donovan Clingan at 7'2". He is a premier shot blocker and rebounder, and this being his second year out of UConn, he has also become a scorer for this team. So Portland will be a solid defensive challenge for this Suns team, Manuch.
I also think that, the Suns can keep pace with anybody. But I remember
scoring-wise, yes.
that Portland game, Portland was getting up and down the court just as much as the Suns.
One of the fastest teams in the league.
And just waxed them. I think the Suns might have scored 14 points in that final quarter to get beat 97-72. One of probably the worst offensive output by the Suns was against the Portland Trailblazers. So for a lot of Suns fans out there, you can't poo-poo this in reference to that. Hey, the Suns have come in with what they have. Here's the thing about Portland. The 8 or 9 guys that they've had, I think you alluded to this, Jimmy, have been playing together as a unit for almost a good month. They haven't had many injuries.
Yeah.
They played together, where the Suns, unfortunately, are still trying to find it as a unit with all hands on deck. And it seemed just as when they were starting to get that groove with all hands on deck that Dylan Brooks gets hurt, or Jalen Green finally comes back, or Devin Booker's out for a while, or Mark Williams is out for 2 weeks, or Grayson Allen is never really in on a consistent basis. You look at the rotation. You look at Oso. He starts a few games. You look at Dunn starting a few games. There's never been a consistent diet.
A consistent 5.
Yeah, a consistent 5 with your 3 or 4 guys in a steady rotation. So I just hope the Suns can get by this first round, win tomorrow night, and they get themselves ready for San Antonio. I believe if they win tomorrow night, that first round starts Saturday.
Yeah. I think that's the official start
I
date.
think for a Suns fan, I think a lot of Suns fans, and even a lot of the pundits that talk about the Suns, is that inconsistency of having a decent rotation healthy for a length of period of time for 2-3 weeks.
Because they haven't.
And they asked Jordan, how long does it typically take a team to feel confident, have a rotation? He said it takes a good 4 to 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I can see that. So, hey, guys are going to have to step up, but I think defensively they're going to have to step up against your big fella down low, who annihilated the Suns with points and rebounding in that game on February 22nd.
Oh, man, I really was hoping you would have forgotten about
No,
that.
I can't.
You can't.
One of the lowest scoring games the Suns had all year, and to be dominated like that. But the thing that stood out was clinging down low in their three-point shooting. Hell, they had guys coming out of the stands hitting three-point shots for the Portland Trailblazers.
They didn't
that night.
miss. They just didn't miss that night. Look, this is going to be fun. It's going to be intense, and that's the way a playoff game should be. Now, there is good news here, because if the Suns struggle and do not win tomorrow night, they are not eliminated. They will play the loser of the 9-10 game.
There is a God.
Basketball
they can lose tomorrow.
Yes,
and still have a chance.
Yes, to get in. That's the only good part about finishing 7 in the play-in tournament. So when we come back, a little factor, Fouhy. Yep, Fouhy's going to join us from ABC Channel 15 Sports. We will continue to roll on, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Right now, let's get you to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks took 2 or 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend, and now the road trip makes its final stop in Baltimore as they open up a 3-game set against the Orioles. Brian Nelson gets the start for Arizona, while Dean Kramer will take the mound for Baltimore. First pitch is set for 3:35 with pregame coverage beginning at 3 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns' regular season has come to an end, and they will be the number 7 seed in the Western Conference. They now prepare for the play-in tournament, where they will host the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow night at the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix. When it's game time, it's Big's time. Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria is one of the best spots in the Valley for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. Check them out all weekend long. Big's at the Peoria and P83. We will be live there tomorrow as the Suns host the Blazers for the first game of the play-in tourney.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer, trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
Swing into Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for the new Titleist Vokey SM11 wedges. The new Vokey SM11 wedges are tour-inspired to have optimized flight, improved spin performance, and tour-level grinds. Sharpen your short game and check out the new Titleist Vokey SM11s today. Book your custom fitting in-store or online. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service, or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet, with a completely redesigned interior and exterior. Adventure? How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com. StreamYard.com.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll, topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
It's time for Fact or Fouhy with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy. Fouhy joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now, here's ABC 15's Craig Fouhy.
Well, with Manuch writing the questions, it always means we're doomed. Fouhy is here. You can find him on X at Fouhy on Sports. That's at Fouhy on Sports. How are you, Fouhy? What's up, Coach?
I'm doing good. What's going on, fellas?
Just a beautiful day. Getting ready for the play-in tournament tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Just got back from the Suns practice and media availability.
What did you learn?
I learned that it's a lot like March Madness, according to Devin Booker. It's very different. He's never been in a one-game play-in, so it's something new to him. The teams are looking forward to it. According to Jordan Ott, they're excited. Can't wait to get out there and play.
Coach, did they have any kind of an injury report, all hands on deck, or question marks, or day-to-day? What kind of report did you get from that?
You just named it, Manuch. Jordan Ott told us it's all hands on deck.
Okay. Good. All right.
Hallelujah.
That's good.
That's according to what he told us, half hour ago. So I could be, we could be wrong come tomorrow, but that's what he told us.
All right, then let's stay with our Suns conversation, and I'll ask the first question. Suns head coach Jordan Ott should be named NBA head coach of the year. Fact or Fouhy?
What?
I told you, Manuch writes the questions.
All right, I'm going to start with a Fouhy on that. Listen, Vegas had him at, 35.5 wins? Something like somewhere around there, 37.5, somewhere in there. They've won 45. It's a great start with Devin Booker and Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks and all the guys they have, Colin Gillespie. The guys have done a great job, got to 45 wins to the 7th seed. But Coach of the Year conversation? Nah, probably not.
So you're not going to give him the credit. 36 wins, as you mentioned last year, no play-in. You're not giving him any love. But where would you put him there, Coach? Where would you put him?
I'm giving him love. He did a great job.
Yeah.
They got 45 wins, but he's not Coach of the Year. He's the best coach in the entire NBA for getting 45 wins.
To take him from the outhouse to the potential penthouse?
No, they're not in the penthouse. They're the number 7 seed in the play-in.
I said potential. Thank you. Now, if they win the play-in and they go on to beat San Antonio,
they're the 7th. They're gonna beat San Antonio.
Hey, they've taken him to the limit this entire year.
Okay, good luck.
Fouhy, he's got his Suns hat on today. He is Suns boy.
Hey, Coach, you're off last week. I got to work you a little bit for crying out loud.
Oh, my gosh. I was on vacation. I didn't want to think about this stuff. I've got a Detroit Pistons team that was crap a couple of years ago that has 60 wins this year.
Yeah.
That might be your Coach of the Year.
I'm with you.
My Oklahoma City Thunder team that won the NBA title, and they got 64 wins.
Yeah.
The Spurs, who no one expected to do, they thought they'd be a play-in team. They're second in the West, 62 wins. I think you got some other candidates for Coach of the Year.
Just put it out there. That's all. Just wanted to put it out there.
Yeah, you did. I like it. You're a homer.
No, exactly
He
right.
is, exactly.
And you know what? And I bleed orange at times there too, Coach, just to make sure you realize. All right, number 2, the Suns will need all players healthy if they are to make it out of the play-in tournament. Fact or Fouhy?
Yeah, listen, they're going to play Portland tomorrow. Portland's 3 games back of them in the standings, but Portland's been playing well lately. They're 7-3 in their last 10. The Suns are 5-5 in their last 10. Portland is a very young. They've got a lot of young guys, young athletic guys. They've got some length that the Suns will have to contend with. Then they've got a couple players that are pretty good. You start looking at Drew Holiday is up there. I mean, they've got some guys that look okay. In terms of where they're at, and they've been playing well lately. So I just think the Suns have got to have all hands on deck. I just saw watching ESPN in the sports office, the Suns opened at 3.5. DraftKings now has them as 4.5 point favorites. but they got to be on their P's and Q's tomorrow to beat the Trailblazers at home.
And speaking of that, Coach, was it addressed with Jordan Ott that, hey, this is one of the rare times that all hands are on deck as far as continuity and chemistry is concerned?
Oh, yeah, he joked about it. He's like, there's no question you guys have been asking me about injuries all season long, so I'm used to that. And they rested everybody yesterday in Oklahoma City last night. It was a joke, both teams. I think I read somewhere 168 players didn't play in the NBA yesterday. Yeah, something like that. It's just ridiculous. It's like, come on, put them out there. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I think we're going to have everybody healthy. Everybody wants to play in the playoffs, so I think everybody will be ready to go.
Okay, let's go to baseball then. Opening series now in Baltimore against the Orioles. A team, by the way, in the O's, they're really red hot right now. The question, number 3, D-back starting rotation has been the strength for the last 6 of their 8 wins. Factor Fouhy.
Yeah, fact. Listen, that Soroka's been great. The guys have been out there pitching are good. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've won one. Obviously, they had some good wins on the road. You go to the Mets, and you go, okay, we got 2 out of 3 against the Mets. You go to the Phillies, you got 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. Now you go with the Orioles. I mean, it's going to be a fun series to watch, too. But the D-backs are solid right now. They're playing good baseball, and I didn't expect it out of the gate. Now, they're third in the NL West at 9-7, behind the Padres and Dodgers, which we kind of expected. Right. But, no, they're playing all right. I like this team so far.
Coach, how impressed have you been with Jose Fernandez? I mean, how he's contributed third base, first base, DH, whatever it takes.
We were out there for opening day when he got called up, and I got a chance to talk to him before the game at his locker in the clubhouse, and he was just excited, right? Excited to be there, and then he went out and just played well in that first series. Again, another young athletic guy that hopefully has a high ceiling.
All right, Coach, question number 4. As Merrill Kelly is scheduled to start tomorrow versus the Orioles, Brandon Pfaadt will either be sent to the bullpen or down to Reno. Factor Fouhy.
Ooh. I'm going to say Fouhy on that right now because I think we're jumping the gun a little bit on that. But I think you're in the right genre, if you will. You're in the right hemisphere. I think he'll end up in the bullpen. But, yeah, it depends on how Merrill Kelly does, right? If he comes out of the gate strong and plays well, you don't want to make a move too soon, so it may be just pushing him in the bullpen temporarily to see what happens.
Would they?
But you know what happened. You know what happened to this team last year. Everybody got hurt.
Yeah, they did. Well, and I don't think they probably said about a 6-man rotation, Coach. You think they would?
Yeah. Torrey has not turned that. He's not said no to that. He has not said no to that.
Yeah. Boy, if I'm a starting pitcher, I don't know if I want to wait that long to get back out on the mound.
Well, isn't that part of it? Erod's he's been pitching phenomenal. Yeah. I don't want to wait an extra day. I think he's hot right now.
Listen, the World Baseball Classic helped him. He was solid.
You're right.
So, but you know what? Listen, they only pitch somewhere between 70 and 90 pitches now. I mean, used to be when Torrey got here 10 years ago. He said, "I want 21 outs for my starting pitchers," and now you're getting 6 innings. It's like, okay, maybe 5.5, 6 innings.
Yeah,
it's changed.
Analytics.
Yep. That's right.
Last one in golf, Rory McIlroy.
Last one already?
I have more for you, but I wanted to make sure I got this in.
Time flies when you're having fun,
yeah,
Coach.
Really. Rory McIlroy, second consecutive Masters title, now winner of 6 majors. He's on his way to be considered one of the greatest majors golfers of all time. Factor Fouhy.
Well, he's one of the best golfers of all time.
Yes.
You have to qualify with majors. Rory did a great job. I mean, when it looked like Cameron Young was going to win everything yesterday, early in the round in that front 9, and then suddenly Cameron Young falls off and Rory just kind of comes roaring back. That was kind of fun to watch. And there were so many guys that had a shot at winning that tournament yesterday. It made for a fun Sunday. And the way Scotty Scheffler played was crazy. But, yeah, I'm a big Rory fan. I like it when he wins. He's a cool guy. Happy for him. Great golfer.
So when you have tomorrow night, I'll let you pump up your schedule. How much extra coverage are you giving the opening of the tip-off tomorrow night on Channel 15?
I will be there all afternoon and evening. I'll be there from the early shows all the way through the 10 o'clock show. So I'm going to be out at the arena. I'm looking forward to it. It's a 1-game play-in. It's going to be fun. put your marbles to the center of the table, see who wins, right? It's going to be a fun one. I like this. And Devin Booker likened it to March Madness. It's like, hey, one and done, right?
Hey, Coach, I even like it. I like even if they lose, they get a chance to play Friday night of the I'm like, wow. I mean, the NBA is really going all in as far as trying to get as many teams from the large markets, wink, wink, that they can get into this playoff situation.
I don't think we're still considered a large market, even though we are. I think they still see us as a mid-major.
Hey, just real quick before I let you go, quiet over at the Cardinals complex with 10 days prior to the draft in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they're doing their pre-draft thing Thursday.
Yeah.
So we'll hear from Monty and Mike LaFleur on Thursday. That'll be the first time we hear, and then obviously the draft on ABC 15 next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So looking forward to it. But listen. This is the time of year when everybody has high hopes, right, for their team.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time in the Valley. And who are they going to draft and what are they going to do? And the people will either celebrate or they'll boo, but they'll still think the Cardinals are going to go out and have a shot at winning the Super Bowl next year.
No matter what.
Are they drunk?
No matter what. Well, yeah, Vegas has them at 4.5 wins next year, right? I know it's early to predict, but Vegas has them at 4.5 wins, and all the fans here and the local media hypes are going to say this team's going to be good. They'll be solid. We got it. Now, they don't have a quarterback to speak of. Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew. They've got a James Conner rehabbing and trying to get back. There's so many holes in this offensive line.
Yes.
And you look at the defense and what they need to do. There's so many holes that need to be filled. I just think we've got to be more realistic about what this Cardinals team is going to do next year and not just say they got another new coach. Well, this has been kind of a graveyard for coaches for a long time.
Well, Coach, welcome back. I'm glad I could get the blood boiling a little bit, get the juices flowing there, man. Get you all excited, ready for it's gonna be a pretty busy next 2 weeks, Coach.
Yes, it is. We're looking forward to it.
So, is your lead story tonight the WNBA draft?
It is not my lead, but it's in my stories tonight.
Okay, just checking.
My lead is the Suns.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Got you covered there. D-backs, Suns, D-backs, Mercury.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, you, Fouhy.
Coach.
There you go.
You got it, fellas. See ya.
Back to Fouhy. That was fun. Hey, when we come back, Manuch has got a random fact of the day, like always. And we'll do some football at 50. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hey listeners, how do you help first responders and their families when they need help? Well, you can come to a benefit concert party at Kierland Golf Course in the Marshalls Pavilion. Friday night, May 8th, 80s cover band Rock Lobster. They tear it up in the AZ band scene. Food, drinks, and fun for great cause. The 100 Club of Arizona has been assisting public safety members since 1968 with the line of duty death, mental health, safety equipment, and scholarship for family members. Go to 100club.org. That's 100club.org events page.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit StayCool-Products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at OrangeDaleLounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on their new home, ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We roll till 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's a good day to be listening to ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and also on the Arizona Sports app. Time now, random fact of the day.
Jimmy got a couple of them for you today.
Okay.
Each of the 3 times the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup.
Yes, Chicago Blackhawks.
Marina Hossa filled up the cup with pierogis. That's how you say that. Pierogis.
Pierogis, yeah.
That is a Polish Czechoslovakian pastry.
It is.
That he would eat out of the cup. There's a lot of things that have gone in the cup.
Got in that cup. You're
Beer,
right. Yeah,
wine,
I've seen it.
A few things. But he had the pierogis.
Okay.
My mom used to make pierogis. It's a great pastry. 2019, this was interesting. Pitcher Edwin Jackson became the first player in history to play for 14 Major League Baseball teams. He had a cup of coffee here at the Diamondbacks, Seattle. I can think of the Angels. I kind of go on and on and on. He played for 14 Major League teams. Just goes to show if you're a decent pitcher, there's always a spot for you. And if you weren't a great soccer player coming out of Mississippi prior to 1991, I know why. Because until 1991, soccer was illegal in Mississippi.
Those goobers in the South, they are as dumb as stumps.
So no wonder nobody played soccer
coming
out of Mississippi.
They are dreadful down there.
What kind of state would outlaw soccer
a sport
until 1991? Just amazes me. The Southeast.
Manuch, I've been in all those states to call games. And they're just the worst. And you just sit there and you shake your head like, how do these people even exist?
Let me tell you something. I will say this.
Exist.
You know what? It's like it's 1945.
Oh,
back
you're
there.
not kidding.
And discrimination up until it still is back there. I talked to a lot of guys that's still alive and well.
Oh yeah.
But you think about that. And the other thing too, that a lot of the guys I played with that came out of the South, the Southeast Conference and down south, it amazed me. And this was 1979. Because we didn't what's the term? We didn't really see the racism, the discrimination out here in Arizona.
Right.
Everybody's treated the blacks, Hispanics, whatever. We all grew up together. It was amazing to me, even in those late 70s, early 80s, how profound it was in the minds of some of the football players I played with. And some very prominent players, I would look at them and go, wow. I mean, it just amazed me, their upbringing. Louisiana, Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, and Texas. And, it just amazed me to that point. So that doesn't surprise me. That's until 1991 that soccer was finally legal.
I just cannot believe that. That's just an incredible stat. 1991.
1991.
I mean, it's not like it's 1929.
Yeah, well, that too. Exactly
1991.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. There you go. A little on this day. Let's do a little football at 50 right now. And it's all presented by our great partnership with Twin Peaks and Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer. By the way, Twin Peaks, 5 Valley locations. They are your go-to for scratch-made game bites. Try the new baked pretzel with chipotle queso, the double-stacked brisket nachos, or the smokestack burger. It's loaded with smoked brisket and barbecue sauce. All perfect with a 29-degree Michelob Ultra Draft. Don't forget Twin Peaks wall-to-wall sports. 5 locations, each drink scenic views. Manuch, where are we going to be Thursday?
We'll be at the Twin Peaks at Scottsdale location.
All right, let's do football at 50.
All right, this one broke yesterday, and we had Rudy Carpenter on earlier in the first hour. He alluded to this. Miami defensive end and 2026 NFL draft prospect, one of the best out there, Reuben Bain Jr., was involved in an auto accident in 2024, in which a passenger later died because of injuries sustained in that crash. Now, Bain was cited for careless driving for the accident that occurred at about 4 a.m. local time. This is on March 17th of 2024. This is on Interstate 95, according to the documents that were by the Reed Optional. Now, crash reports alleges Bain was driving a 2021 Land Rover SUV, on and on and on. Now, fellow Hurricane football players Wesley Bassett and Joaka Kelly, along with 22-year-old Georgia woman Destiny Betts, were in that accident. She was in another car, veered into a concrete barrier, ricocheted into another barrier before coming to a rest on the shoulder of the highway. That's how this accident happened. Now, Betts, who was in the other car, was taken to Ryder Thomas Trauma, and eventually at that point in time for nearly 3 months in a coma before she died from her injuries June of 2024. So almost, a year and a half. It's come and gone. Now, Bain was cited at the time of the incident, but charges were dropped prior to Betts' death, according to the Reed Optional. So no field sobriety tests were given according to the crash report. In a statement given by the Reed Optional, Betts' family called the crash a tragic accident, and they wish Mr. Bain the best as he continues his life and career. Now, Baines was entering his sophomore season at the time of the accident. Now, currently by Tamel Kiper, coming out in the draft, as I mentioned, starting next Thursday. He's ranked number 15 on Mel Kiper's draft board for this month's NFL draft. Now, as a junior in 2025, Bain had a career season. We watched him in that championship game against Indiana.
He was very good.
Very good. Highly sought after. Cardinals are looking at him. A lot of teams are looking at him. My question to both you and Laz, will this affect his draft status, his draft stock? I'm sure that teams were aware of this. Now that it's coming out and being made public as of yesterday,
I will
judge
say,
and jury of the court of opinion if you draft this young.
Okay, I will say no. And here is my reasoning. A, it was over a year ago. B, it's a case in point where
2 years ago, 24.
2 years ago. Thank you. 2 years ago. I think that, yes, it has been made public, but to be honest with you, I don't see any real backlash taking place here. So I will offer up no as far as his draft status.
Laz?
I personally agree with you guys. I don't think it should affect his draft status. I think everything has kind of been cleared up. There's no murkiness in the water. But from what I'm hearing from team interviews is that they don't like the mixed reactions from this situation and that it could cause him to slide to the early 20s.
Yeah, I think the court of public opinion that a lot of these teams, now that this is out, and when you look at it, everybody will go back to the accident and they'll read how this all happened. Exactly. That Bain's vehicle, he was driving, rear-ended another car, veered into a concrete barrier, then ricocheted into another barrier before coming to rest on the shoulder of the highway. The young lady in his car was injured, eventually died. I'm to you, Jimmy. I think this was a tragic mistake, tragic accident.
Yes.
I think the young man's had to deal with this. I think that it's been 2 years. It's come and gone. Hey, we all make accidents. We all screw up. How long do you hold this kid's feet to his fire? That's something I'm sure he's truly sorry for, and then this has come. But I think to both of your points, I think to yours, Laz, the court of public opinion that's out there is how much did you bet this young man? Let's say the Cardinals take him at number 3.
Okay.
Phenomenal player.
Yeah.
Big kid, strong, fast. Do you feel comfortable that you've done enough to make sure this kid is cleaned up whatever issues, whatever the situation was? Who knows? Maybe he had his head down or whatever, had an accident, that you feel comfortable that this isn't going to be held against him by teams or by the people that buy your season tickets.
I think
Go ahead, Lance.
I think it happened kind of similarly a couple years ago with Jalen Carter. There was some off-the-field issues. He got in a car wreck and stuff. And it clearly caused him to fall a couple of spots in the draft. But as long as you check him and he checks all those boxes and you know he's going to clear his head and get in a real NFL locker room, it should help and look at the player he's become. So I think he'll be okay. But, yes, he might slide a little bit because of it, no doubt.
All right, so my other follow-up question is, have we heard anything about his personal life since that accident?
And I was just going to mention
we haven't heard anything.
I think that he's been clean since then.
I agree.
I think what a lot of scouts and general managers look at is, what have these young men done lately? Have they screwed up in the last year, or they continue to screw up? Have they screwed up 2 or 3 times while in college? I think of the guy that had the bong mask on a few years ago.
Oh, the offensive lineman who just went to he just got traded from the Texans.
I mean, it was
I remember him.
2 weeks prior to the draft.
Yes,
And this
Laramie Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil.
What are you doing?
I couldn't believe when I saw that on TV.
Now, if it's something new and fresh, that there's been some things that have been brought up or happened, you go, wait a second. Here you are getting ready for the draft of your lifetime, and you're still you're smoking, you're this, you're that type of thing. And if it's latest additions, I can see that. But since this is 2 years over, I think that the kid's exonerated himself. The family's dropped the charges. Everybody's moved on. I'm sure he feels bad. But to your point, Jimmy, has he been clean the last 2 years?
That's it,
leading the draft. And it sounds like he's been a model citizen.
Good.
Leading up to the draft. I think that's the only contention you can have. And not hold this against somebody of a major mistake.
I will once again read what you said about the Betts family. They called the crash a tragic accident, which it was. But they said they wish Mr. Bain the best as he continues his life and career.
Yeah, and she was in the coma with 3 months as a report.
Yes.
Real quick before we let go, a lot of you Jets fans, how about Louisville Cardinal fans? Very, very sad news, losing Brownie Nagel, a former quarterback for Louisville and for the Jets for a few years, passed away, I believe it was late Friday, of cancer at 57 years old. I remember when Louisville came in here and waxed Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl.
Yep, he was great.
Outstanding quarterback, but very, very unfortunate to lose Brownie Nagel, who said was a phenomenal individual, to lose him to cancer here this past weekend.
I called some of his college games, and then later, after he was in the NFL, he moved to the Arena Football League, played for the Buffalo Destroyers, and I even called a couple of his games in the Arena League. So there you go. Hour number 3 is coming up, everybody. We're going to dive into the Suns and Trailblazers as they get set for the play-in game tomorrow night. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Arizona, you are on the clock. Bud Light, official beer of the Arizona Cardinals and proud sponsor of the NFL, is gearing up for the 2026 NFL Draft. From watch parties to backyard hangouts, Bud Light is there for every pick, every party, and every moment. So make it a Bud Light and rise up Red Sea. Bud Light, the perfect draft pick. 21 and over, drink responsibly.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to CarShield.com. That's CarShield.com today.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Why choose Sanderson Ford? Because for over 70 years, Sanderson has been doing business the right way, putting the customer and our community first, offering online purchasing options, making maintenance a breeze with mobile service and pickup and delivery, prioritizing customer needs and affordability to provide the best deal, plus raising over $1 million annually for local charities. So when you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, choose no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. Choose Sanderson Ford.
Sanderson Ford. Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We roll till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Diamondbacks getting ready here. First pitch about 3:35 our time. They are in Baltimore against the Orioles, and the Suns have the play-in matchup against the Portland Trailblazers. That is tomorrow night.
Yeah, before we get going, though, some very, very sad news to report. I had found out this morning, bright and early, that Dave McGinnis, former head coach for the Cardinals, and he was the color analyst for the Tennessee Titans, was in poor health. I just found out during the break that Coach Mack has passed away. Unfortunately, Dave McGinnis, one of the best guys that you would ever know, not only was he an outstanding coach at Kansas State, as you remember, he was off defensive coordinator with the Cardinals, head coach for the Arizona Cardinals, went on to be part of Jeff Fisher's group with the Rams, and with the Tennessee Titans as the assistant head coach. Just found out he'd been battling, some kind of stomach issues, had pneumonia. Just found out during the break that he has passed away from one of his fine coaches that he coached with for many, many years at Kansas State. And just our thoughts and prayers go out to his family, all those that are out there. That Coach Mack, matter of fact, he was on my hit list to talk to Mack about what they're preparing for, at least in Tennessee, as the draft comes up.
He's been a guest on this show a lot
for many, many years. He's been good to myself and Roc. I let Roc know a little bit earlier that he was struggling, and we just hope that now he's at peace, going on to better place, and moved off there. So for a lot of you Cardinal fans and just fans of one Dave McGinnis, the Coach Mack, as we affectionately call him, who always had time for myself and Roc, and you too, Jimmy, over the years, just has passed away. I believe it's 75 years old. So just keep your thoughts and prayers for his family, all those that knew him, and just pass that word along. So again, Dave McGinnis has passed away.
All right. We talked a little bit about baseball tonight. It is another East Coast game. It is the final series on the East Coast for the D-backs before they return to the Valley of the Sun. Manuch, they're going to be matched up against a Baltimore Orioles team, which is playing extremely well right now. They're getting timely hitting, some solid pitching as well. and they are looking like a team which a lot of baseball talking heads said, look, they're in the playoff hunt in the East, and that's exactly what we're going to get tonight, the D-backs and the O's.
Well, as you mentioned, they're tied. There's Tampa Bay, Yankees, and Orioles. There they are tied after 15 games, all of them. They've won 2 in a row. Out of the 6 out of the last, they're 6-4 these last 10 games. You're right, Jimmy. They've got an outstanding staff. Things kind of fell apart for them last year. But I think I look at this Diamondbacks team right now. When you watch them and you see what they've done, they've won 6 out of the last ball games. And I think it's been a great combination to watch this team. They're also 6-4 the last 10 games. But when you win 6 out of 8, you look at their starting rotation. You take a look at their bullpen. Paul Sewald has done an excellent job. He's got 3 saves out of those 6 out of 8 wins for this Diamondback ball club. Now, the only thing is you look at this team being 9-7 after 16 games, only 2.5 games back to the Dodgers, is the run differential. When you look at the Dodgers, obviously their run differential is plus 35. Okay. You look at the Padres, are in second place, game and a half behind them. Their differential is plus 14. But when you see a team like the Diamondbacks who are minus 6, they've been outscored by 6 runs with their record of 9-7, goes to show you how the bullpen has come in and shut down opposing offense.
Has saved the day.
Saved the day. I mean, you look at the 8th inning yesterday, and you got runners at first and third, no outs. You get a strikeout, and then you get a pop-up double play to end the inning.
Right.
Those are some of the things I think a lot of fans look at when you go, okay, is a bullpen, are they doing their job in reference to keeping a team at bay or keeping a team from coming back? Because you remember, look at that Dodgers series. I think just about every game in that Dodgers series, you saw the Dodgers, pretty much come back and take care of anything. But it was pretty much Clark who came in there. I'm sorry, it was Ginkel that gave up the 1 hit.
Right.
But he basically, Thompson comes in and shuts the door after you get the runners on. So nobody scored. So Ginkel comes in, gives up the base hit, and then all of a sudden you got runners on first and third. Thompson comes in and does his job and gets those last 2 outs. And you sit there and go, wow, they have this opportunity. And then Sewald again, he comes in, strikes out 2, gets a ground out to end the game, and there you go. You win another series. And I think when they start stacking these series wins to take on a team, to your point, like the Baltimore Orioles, another good litmus test early on in the year, speaks volumes, at least after 16 games where this team is at.
The Suns have a date with the Portland Trailblazers. Game tomorrow night, downtown, MMC Center. That's where they're going to play. The joint will be jumping. It is the first play-in game. Now, if you win, you advance with just that one victory into the NBA playoffs, and you'll be playing Saturday, most likely then against the San Antonio Spurs. If the Suns were to lose, then you will have a chance to play the loser of the 9-10 game. And that's going to be interesting as well. It's the Clippers and the Warriors. And Steph Curry, by the way, will be on the court and then playing for the Warriors.
Now, if you win that game, you got OKC.
Yes.
So if you win
damn
tonight,
if you do, damn if you don't.
If you win tomorrow night, you've got San Antonio.
Yeah.
And if you lose, but you win against the Clippers and or the Golden State Warriors, guess what? You got OKC. I can't wait.
Hey, Manuch, let me just say this. The best part about it, if they win, they're in. Look, when the season began, with all of the changes, the trades, new coach, a new coaching staff, new general manager, everything just went totally off the rails and then was put back on the rails. At beginning of the season, it was our contention, all 3 of us, hey, I think they're good enough to make the play-in. Then when they went through that run where they were really playing well and other teams were struggling, then it got to the point, maybe this is a playoff team. And no, we were wrong. It was not a playoff team. We were right with our first assumption. It was a play-in team. But that doesn't mean that you cannot get into the playoffs which is exactly what will take place tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I think that speaks volumes what this coaching staff has done. I think Jordan Knott and his staff to recognize the injuries they have. Jalen Green didn't play for the first 3 years with his contract for this Suns team. Give or take a year or two there. Hang with me there, Jimmy.
I'm rolling.
But again, what they've done, I thought the thing that really stood out for the Suns team initially was the defensive progress that they showed until they could get all hands on deck. And I think the way that Colin Gillespie has fit in so very, very well as a now a prominent member of the NBA's on the map, as well as he's played. And I remember Tim Kempton told us last year, he said, hey, watch out for this Colin Gillespie kid.
He did. Yep.
They're looking to keep him. Grayson Allen, when he's healthy, he spot started, came off the bench, contributed mightily. But I thought the way some of the young guys came along, getting Mark Williams incorporated, Mark Williams being healthy, Devin Booker having a great year. And to see Devin Booker smile this year, or
he did.
Not that he wasn't totally engaged the last couple of years. You could tell just by looking at him, even though he get his 25 or 30 points, that those 2 years had to have weighed on him.
He was irritated.
Exactly. I think he really was, but he took the high road. But he really looks like, hey, this is my team. I'm having fun. These guys all get it. They're dialed in. You're seeing a lot of unselfishness on this team. And I think what Jordan Knott and his staff have done, the only question mark is what happened to that defensive prowess these last 2 months.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a main culprit that does this team in if Portland beats them. And if they have to go play Golden State or the Clippers and they get beat there, I think that's going to be one of their nemesis. I just hope they can figure out, now that all hands are on deck, at least reported by our good coach Fouhy, the sports director at Channel 15, who was at practice, that all hands are on deck, everybody's available, that they can get it figured out and go 8 or 9 deep and keep that chemistry or develop some chemistry, and guys can get it together, because this Portland team is going to be a very challenging team for this Suns team, especially on the rebounding and offensive rebounding against this team.
I'm with you on that, and they have a very good second-year center in Donovan Clingan, who has played extremely well against the Suns. He owned them, and Manuch has all of the stats on the top of his head because he is still reliving that game from back in February.
February 22nd, to be exact,
I told
Jimmy.
you, yeah.
97-72. It was like, I called him Klingon. He looked like an alien for crying out loud. I mean, the way they shot the ball and the way that he just had his weight down low offensively and defensively. And I think at that point, that was kind of that I don't know, the epiphany that after the All-Star game, that this team really struggled defensively. They're going to have to get it figured out down low more so than anything.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to do some Diamondbacks breakdown, and we get you ready for this afternoon's contest. They start a series against the Orioles in Baltimore this evening. Okay, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620. We're coming right back with some D-backs conversation.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
You push hard, you train hard. Shouldn't your soda work just as hard? Meet Who Knew, the superfood nutrition soda packed with whole vitamins, electrolytes, and antioxidants. Only 5 grams of natural sugar. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Voted the #1 soda for athletes. Whole food nutrition, great taste. That's Who Knew. Go to HUNUsoda.com and use code ESPN for 10% off your first order. Who Knew Soda. Soda that's actually good for you. HUNUsoda.com. Code ESPN.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Laverne Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900. Celebrate the new season and enjoy springtime features at Rodizio Grill. Come try our new seasonal menu additions like salmon with passion fruit sauce, mint clam, and so much more at no additional charge. And bring your loved ones to celebrate your special life milestones. Rhodesia's springtime features happening nightly through April. Celebrate spring and celebrate you at Rhodesia Grill, the Brazilian steakhouse.
Beth was a very successful dentist until her back pain made everyday life impossible. She couldn't sit or drive, and her pain was a 10.
So I ended up selling my dental practice, and it was quite the traumatic experience for several years of just chronic pain.
Beth's orthopedic doctor encouraged her to try natural, non-surgical treatments, and that's when she trusted the medical professionals at QC Kinetics.
You're using your own body to heal itself, and there's something to be said for that.
QC Kinetics used Beth's own healing tools in her blood to help relieve the pain that had robbed her of so many things. Fast forward, now Beth is able to
sit without pain longer than 10 minutes, drive my car 30 minutes, an hour without pain, sit at the dinner table with my husband,
and living the life she thought she'd lost. Get relief and start living again. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-837-7246 in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Peoria, and Chandler. That's 837-7246, 837-7246.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
And the 1-2 pitch is on the way. Swinging a hard hit line drive left center field. That is going to be down for a base hit. Perdomo is going to be center around third. Here comes the throw by Turner. It's cut off, and we're tied at 3. Jose Fernandez coming through once again. Man, is this kid making his mark.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the D-backs highlight. The win over the Phillies in Philadelphia yesterday. And tonight they open up the series in Baltimore against the Baltimore Orioles. Manuch, this team, I think, coming out of the gate, please refresh my memory. I think I have it right. But the past 2 seasons, didn't they come out of the gate extremely slow? And this year they have come and really turned it on coming out of the gate.
Well, I think that what's really helped them is the bullpen to have this kind of stability.
Success. Okay.
Yeah, success, stability, whatever you want to call it. They're starting the season. Last year, to start the season off, we were hoping anybody that could be on the 4th or 5th inning to come out. Erod couldn't get out of his own way.
No, he could.
He was 40 pounds heavier. But, a couple of things you look at. I want to get back to Jose Fernandez there as he got that the game-winning knock yesterday before we dive into the bullpen there, Jimmy, is that you look at this young man, played first base and third base yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's hitting .333 right now. And on the road, the last 6 games, he's 8 for 20. So he's hitting .400 on the road, which is, for a lot of young guys, difficult. Seeing new pitching for the first time around.
Very impressive.
Versus the American League. He likes the American League. He's got 2 home runs versus the American League. But some of the things that you look at, this young man so far, how he's really come into his role and making contact. He's not having those real bad days, 4 or 5 strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
He's making contact. Here he is hitting .333. In these last 6 games, hitting .400. So he's starting to feel it. He's starting to see it. But I think the main reason that we look at Jose Fernandez right now with his youth is how some of the other guys have really stepped up. Vargas, Del Castillo, Fernandez, Tawa. Some of the guys have come off the bench that have had to come in and really implement themselves in whatever position that they're at. So they're all good baseball players that are producing. And when you win 6 out of 8 games, this baseball team, the injuries was the big quotation mark last year. Remember that?
Always.
Everybody was hurt.
Yep.
Pitching staff was hurt.
Terrible.
Guys were pulling muscles. Corbin Carroll was hurt. This guy was hurt. Corbin Carroll playing very well to start these first 16 games, which I think is key. Ketel Marte, slow to start, gets a home run the other day. First home run in a week for this Diamondbacks team. So I think what you're seeing is a good blend of guys that have been on this team the last couple of years that are coming in and performing. And for the case of Jose Fernandez, a 22-year-old kid who's really, I think, beyond his years to be able to play shortstop, third base, second base if he needs to, and first base, relatively first base and third base are the keys for him.
Right.
And to get production out of that young man, I really think is a key for this team, along with the starting rotation in the bullpen. So for right now, I feel this team is meshing very good with the long road trip that they've had.
But don't you find it entertaining that they are out of the blocks very well as compared to the last 2 years where they struggled and then they couldn't make those games up?
Well, we look at this team. They were a little schizophrenic the last couple of years.
Oh, that's fair.
So when you look at the team that went to the World Series, they came out of the blocks guns a-blazing.
They did.
And then did they fade like tissue paper in a rainstorm the second half of the season?
They did.
Barely get in.
Yeah.
And then last year they struggled and they made a run. So this year I think what Torey Lovello and his staff are looking for is consistency.
Okay.
And if you can be consistently consistent, is a term I use all the time, whether you're a team or you're training individuals, is if you can be consistent day in and day out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are some of the things that this team is looking for. And when I think about this team being consistent day in and day out, you get a lot of the same players that are playing, whether they're platooning or they're playing, they have played a lot of baseball. Arenado is really the only guy that's inserted in the lineup that's new with this ball club. Think about that.
I hadn't really thought about that until you just said that.
He's the only new guy that's been inserted into this lineup. Pavin Smith injured again. And, Lawler, he was having a heck of it. It started off strong in left field. He got injured.
Right.
But think about the guys that I call backfield or come in utility-wise. Arenado's really the only guy. I mean, as far as infielders are concerned. Soroka, he's the other guy, the other new guy in the starting rotation who's now 3-0.
Right.
And so you look at those two guys, Soroka's really pitching well. We're waiting for Arenado if he does, or if he doesn't get hot, restore some of the power that he had.
I don't think it's going to happen.
But he had a couple of timely hits during this series.
Yeah.
And he's filling his position very well. So those are the only two guys I can think of. Oh, one more, Paul Sewald coming back. So if I think of those three that have been inserted on a daily or every fourth day or every fifth day basis, those are individuals that have really contributed, aside from those guys that have been here the last couple of years. And it's paying off for this team early on.
I agree with that. Look, everybody felt that, and nobody's going to argue this, that the Dodgers once again are the team to beat. But when the season began, I think some pundits felt that, okay, maybe the Diamondbacks are good enough to overtake the Padres for that second spot. San Francisco Giants are just struggling coming out of the blocks. Colorado, I think, has surprised everybody with the wins that they have so far.
Well, that came. They lost 5 in a row now.
Yeah, I know. After
reality set in
it did.
For the AAA team coming out of Denver.
It did. And I just think that, what's going on right now with this team, meaning the D-backs, is that they are feeling good about themselves.
Well, they can win series, and they can, stay within that second or third spot, to your point.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dodgers are 11-4, and you look at the Padres, they've won 8 out of the last 10.
They're playing really good baseball.
They've won 5 in a row. All of a sudden, they're, 3-4 weeks into the season. They're starting to feel it. It's their staff. It's their bullpen with Miller coming in throwing 102.
God, is he good.
His changeup, they clocked at 92. His changeup. His slider came in at 95 miles an hour.
Wow.
It's just amazing. But, yeah, I think to your point, Jimmy, I think if they can win series, not fall, not be 10 games back at the end of May, and then try to make a run, are some of the things I think Diamondback fans can feel. But if they can continue to improve, with Shelby Miller, when you got Merrill Kelly coming back tomorrow, it looks as though they're going to have to make a move or stay with Brandon Pfaadt in a 6-man rotation. I would not agree with the 6-man rotation.
I'm with you. I'm not in favor of that either.
Either you send him to the bullpen for long relief, or he's a 7th inning guy or 8th inning guy because he needs to get his work.
Yes.
Or I doubt they'll do this, but in my case, it could say, hey, look, we're going to send you down. We're going to have you go do your starts every fourth or fifth day to keep you throwing 5-6 innings at a time because, you brought it up, the injuries that this staff had last year.
That's correct.
And, you think of Burns probably not coming back till, I'm going to say
August.
Yeah, after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Early August. And then even then, probably not come back unless this Diamondback team's in a legitimate race to make the wild card.
Okay, so if they are in a legit race to be a wild card team, then you would bring, if the doctors clear him, you would bring Burns back. Manuch, my question is, if they are out of it, do you still bring Burns back so he gets work, or do you wait till next year?
I think if they're completely out of it, they would probably err on this, on the side of caution.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they would. I mean, he could get his work in and not have to really push it or strain it. But if they're in it, I would hope that they're in it by mid-August, late August.
Yeah.
That they're fighting for a wild card spot. Who knows? They could catch fire and overtake San Diego or not. We don't know. But if they're in it and he feels good and he's proven down at Reno or Double-A that he can go 3, 4, 5 innings, kind of monitor his pitch count.
Yes.
And then pick it up with the bullpen. Why not bring him in?
Okay.
The guy's making, $32, $33 million a year. If you're my attitude has been, if you're healthy,
yeah,
you're ready.
Yeah.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of guys come back stronger after Tommy John than they do prior to.
That is true.
So,
and there's a big difference in being hurt and injured.
Exactly right. So I think that if Corbin Burns is ready, available to make the push at the end of the year, so be it.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, NFL draft 10 days away. Pittsburgh. Hello, Pittsburgh. They're going to party like crazy. Boy, oh boy, are they going to throw down the brewskis in that town. Frank Sanders, former Cardinal wide receiver, he is going to join us next. But first, let's get you to Matt and an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Diamondbacks took 2 or 3 from the Philadelphia Phillies over the weekend, and now the road trip makes its final stop in Baltimore as they open up a 3-game set against the Orioles. Brian Nelson gets the start for Arizona, while Dean Kramer will take the mound for Baltimore. First pitch is set for 3:35, with pregame coverage beginning at 3 on 98.7 FM and streaming live on the Arizona Sports app. On the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns' regular season has come to an end, and they will be the number 7 seed in the Western Conference. They now prepare for the play-in tournament, where they will host the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow night at the Mortgage Matchup Center in Phoenix. When it's game time, it's Big's time. Big's American Bar and Grill in Peoria is one of the best spots in the valley for great food, cold drinks, and wall-to-wall sports. Check them out all weekend long. It's Big's in Peoria at P83. We will be there live tomorrow. We'll see you there.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
Swing into Van's Golf Shops for the new Titleist Scotty Cameron Phantom Putter. The new Phantom Putters are precisely engineered to deliver softer feel, sharper distance control, and total confidence over every putt. Find your favorite Phantom today by testing out the new diverse net configurations and tour-proven shaping. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, trusted by golfers since 1963, and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Get there.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge. Parents, give your high schooler a summer that sets them up for success. With free summer school at Primavera Online, your student can catch up or get ahead in just 4 weeks while still enjoying their summer. For 25 years, Primavera has supported Arizona families with flexible, fully accredited, NCAA-approved online learning. Now enrolling free summer school for grades 9 through 12. Visit freesummerschool.com to enroll today. That's freesummerschool.com. Enroll today.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught. Touchdown Auburn. Sanders got it. Touchdown Auburn. Frank Sanders from Diggs. Auburn's ahead.
Frank Sanders joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. right here on ESPN 620.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue until 4 o'clock. We've got the Diamondbacks and Orioles getting ready to begin in Baltimore, and then tomorrow night, Suns and Trailblazers downtown in the NBA playoff game. It is Frank Sanders as our guest. You can follow him on X at Frank Sanders 81. That's at Frank Sanders 81.
Frank, if I could, I don't know if you've heard the news. Your former head coach, we just found out about a half hour ago, Dave McGinnis, had passed away about a half hour ago. And, it's the heavy hearts. We bring this to you. I don't know if you've known or not. He'd been struggling probably the last couple of weeks, fell into pneumonia, found out this morning, and he just recently passed. So I just want to get your thoughts about Coach Mack. He was your head coach, defensive coordinator, head coach there for a few years as well, too. And just kind of the legacy and the mark that Dave McGinnis left on the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah, that's my first time hearing that, bro. So Jake sent out a post the other day about reaching out to Coach Mack, and a bunch of guys got a chance to reach out to him. I was going to reach out to him today a little later, and I just missed that window. I sure hate that. Coach McGinnis, when he became the head coach of the Cardinals, we was going through a bad situation, a bad streak of seasons, and he was a light in the building, a true light in the building. I mean, Coach McGinnis could put a smile on anybody. He always was positive. He always had the mindset that, guys, if you come to work, anything can happen and anything can change. And when I say a good man, I mean a good man, good-hearted man. Any man that could, any man that can cry tears pretty fast off any situation. That was Coach McGinnis. So, really good man. Got a chance to see him last year when I was doing the games up in the stadium, and when Tennessee came here. That wasn't a good game for us, but to see Coach McGinnis, we went to tears and crying and hugging and just remembering that good times that we had as men playing a child's game.
And how just, the divine intervention, not that it was fun for Vince Tillman to get fired, but Coach Mack to take over the week. You guys played the Redskins, and you guys beat the Redskins that weekend because the vote for the new stadium was that Tuesday, Election Day, to vote on the ball in the stadium to go out there into the West Valley and to have Mac, Jake, heck, you might have been out there just going door to door to say, hey, make sure you get out and vote. If you want to see a new stadium, you got to get your buds out there to vote. But just Roc and I, every time we had Mac on over the 22 years, it'll be 22 years here in September, he was always very cordial. We talk about how vitally important that was You guys lose that game, I mean, you might still be in Sun Devil Stadium playing football games.
No, that time was that was like a real unique time for the organization. Everybody that was all hands on deck was going out to Safeways, any sporting goods store that we can get to try to get people to vote. Going door to door to say you need to come out and bet for Prop 202, I believe at the time.
Yeah, it was.
But it was the initiative was there, but the win that weekend was really needed because it was we need to make that transition. The season didn't start off good, but when Coach Mack came in, a lot of guys had to they breathed the fresh air. His mindset and attitude and his love in the locker room was really special and needed.
Where were you on the sideline when Aeneas took that interception return like 105 yards out of the end zone?
Look, man, I was somewhere on the bench trying to decide what play we can call because we were getting murdered. It was not good.
Yes, you were.
It wasn't good.
I remember because I was doing the pre and post game shows, but that just kind of like was that bang. I mean, just set you guys free after that.
Yeah, there was we had talent on the team, we just wasn't putting it together consistently. And we needed guys to make plays. The big players, the guys, the athletes, the top end guys need to go out and make some plays. And we found a way to kind of put something together and come away with a win. Like it's not easy in the NFL, especially when the team is not gelling together consistently. But we needed that win, and coaching staff, man, that week really tried hard to get our minds focused on the game. And losing Coach Tobin at that time wasn't easy, but the transition worked out well for us.
So, and just loving talking about Coach Mack. What will you take away from Coach Mack as he passes on?
Look, I think there's coaching in the NFL at a level where it's a business, and there's coaching at an NFL level where they're just men playing a kid's game, and you're trying to get these men to come together and realize what it feels like to be a team. And when you have a leader like Coach, not afraid to be vulnerable, not afraid to be honest, more importantly, to set the atmosphere in the building from the security guy he loved on to the people that came in and brought food in he loved on, just to treat people as people. And I think Coach Mack did a great job with that. And I think everybody that ever came in contact with him loves him for that.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Frank, we're roughly about 10 days away now from the NFL draft. Do you have any inside information? Because we go to you as our insider, and it's just the three of us talking right now. What are they going to do with that number 3 pick?
Yeah, give us a scoop there,
Come on,
Frank.
man. Come on, open up, Frank.
Look, I have heard some stuff, and but it's not solid enough to bring to the table as breaking news to give to you guys to make us look like fools in about 10 days. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, good.
I do know this here, and I will say this respectfully, man. It's just I say this. We got to win in the draft this year, though. We really got to win. The Cardinals need to walk away with an A+ or A grade in what they do in the draft this year. We really do. There's a lot of talent in the draft right now. We were 3-14 last year. There's a lot of spots that are open and that need to be filled from guys that were injured last year. So we got a new coach. We got a new offensive coordinator. Michael Bidwell heard the fan base and what they said over the last couple of years with JG being the leader. We need a new coach, and they did that. So I'm looking forward to what this draft is going to be because we got to win in the draft this year.
Frank, so many needs for this team, to your point, in drafting. Do you look at best available? Do you hit a need? Or let me throw one more at you. Do you most impactful? Which way do you sense they're leaning, if you have any sense at all? I know you got a lot of sense.
But it's going to be impactful 100%. It's got to be impact immediately. Coach LaFleur don't have the opportunity, man, to sit around and try to develop and build it over the next 2 or 3 years. He's got talent that's here, that's healthy on the offensive side, looking at, Michael Wilson, Jacoby Brissett. If he's going to be our starting quarterback, he's healthy. He showed himself to be somewhat of he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. We do have some young talent on the outside in the skill position offensively. Defensively, I would say the same. I think there's some good talent out there, but we need some field, some people that can come in and impact immediately. But like I said before, I looked at the draft, and you look at the top 65 players. These guys can come in and play and make impact. They're fast, they're agile, they have a lot of ability, and they're coming from good schools. I mean, good schools that had an opportunity to play in the playoffs. So I think there's impact has to be the motivation for what we bring in this year.
All right, Frank, let me throw this at you. We know who Trey McBride is. We know who Kendrick Bourne is. We know who Michael Wilson is. Who is Marv Harrison Jr. going to his third year?
Marvin Harrison is going to be a stud. I really think that. I really do. I think he had an opportunity to see what Michael Wilson do last year, which is he took the bull by the horn and made himself known. I think Marvin Harrison realized he hasn't really lived up to what he wanted to do in himself personally, and I think professionally. And I think that, when you look at, you got a new coach coming in, you get a chance to kind of reset yourself with some new eyes on you. You also get an opportunity to kind of, go win a job, go win the starting job. Because Michael Wilson left an impression that last year he was the start. He was the number one wide receiver, because we know Trey Bride is the number one receiver on the entire team. But when it comes to that, Michael showed himself to be the number one guy that's ready to go out and make plays. And he took a step in his career that put himself in a position where, he's ready to play. And so I think Marvin is right now in that position where I think next year we should see in his third season with the Arizona Cardinals, he should easily be over 1,000 yards receiving and at least over 75 catches without a problem.
So Mike LaFleur and his offensive coordinator, receiver coach, they're out there practicing now. How do you take the passing group, all the receivers, the tight ends, and emphasize, really work Marvin Harrison whatever way you have to without him, the others knowing that you're really working Marvin Harrison to get him to another level? How do you blend that together and not so one side Marvin Harrison to take that next leap that you're talking about?
Well, I mean, if you really, I would keep moving them around in different positions. And I'll tell the guys, this is the new offense. We're trying to find out where guys are sticking, where guys really fit at. I mean, what you did in, with John Gannon and Drew Petzing's offense, it's not the same with me. As you guys can see, I come from an offense that has guys playing multiple positions at multiple levels at multiple times. So don't get stuck at that you're just X and that you're just Y or you're Z. I can have my tight end single out all day. I can run 3 tight ends off package. I have a variety of packages for you guys. So I'm going to move you guys around, and I need you guys to know that we're going to do what's best for the offense and not just what's best for you. And so we're going to try to put you guys in the best position without being concerned about anything. There are no just X's and O's on my team. You saw Puka Nakul and what he was able to do, what we did. Sure. We moved him in the backfield. We moved him around. He was in the slot. Sometimes he blocked more than he caught passes, and I think that's the part where if you want to see the guys get their eyes gleamy, you can look at what Puka did, and you have to realize you're not just an X receiver sitting on the outside edges of the numbers 90% of the time. We're going to move you guys around all day so we can put you guys in the best position, matchup-wise, that gives our quarterback the best opportunity to get the ball to you.
I hope it works. I really do. This city needs something, Frank, just like what you said. This fan base has spoken. Coaching change, players, everything, and they need to find a way to become exciting again.
And again, Frank, also just our condolences losing your head coach and Dave McGinnis this afternoon. Some great stories you had, and hope you can share a lot of those online with social media.
I will do, brothers. Appreciate you guys, man.
See you.
Love you guys as well.
There you go. That's Frank Sanders, everybody. Once again, you can find him on X at Frank Sanders 81, at Frank Sanders 81. Frank's presented today by All City Towing. It's Arizona's largest towing company, hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service personnel. Look, they pay extremely well. They have wonderful benefits. Here's just one of them for an example. A monthly fuel allowance. You don't get that anywhere else. You get a monthly fuel allowance working for All City Towing. Here's all you have to do to apply. Just go online, allcitytowing.com, search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com, search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. When we come back, Lerner and Rowe, one call, that's all. What's on tap and the results of our State 48 roofing. It's your call question of the day. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
For over a century now, Ford has been part of America. In my family, it's been generations. Paul Calvisi here. My grandfather worked for Ford Motor. My first car, a classic Mustang, still have it. But going to our Desert Ford dealers today means getting more than a vehicle. We're talking a full suite of benefits like complimentary Ford mobile service or try Ford pickup and delivery. Yes, to and from your door, and it's easy scheduling in the Ford Pass app. Tough would be built Ford tough. More than a slogan, it's an identity of the F-Series trucks. And the all-new 2026 F-150 is the best yet. With a completely redesigned interior and exterior adventure. How about the Ford Bronco Sport? It says, let's get it, with 5 available trims so you can forge your own path. We recently bought a new Explorer at our Desert Ford dealers. Love the flexible seating up to 7. All the cargo room, the advanced tech. Bottom line, Ford is the future at our Desert Ford dealers. Just click buyfordnow.com.
It's the Lerner & Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner & Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
What?
I told you Manuch writes the questions.
I'm going to start with a Fouhy on that. Listen, Vegas had them at, 35.5 wins? Something like somewhere around there, 37.5, somewhere in there. They've won 45. It's a great start with Devin Booker and Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks and all the guys they have, Colin Gillespie. The guys have done a great job, got to 45 wins to the 7th seed. But Coach of the Year conversation? Probably not.
So you're not going to give him the credit. 36 wins, as you mentioned last year, no play-in. You're not giving him any love. Well, where would you put him there, Coach? Where would you put him?
I'm giving him love. He did a great job. They got 45 wins, but he's not Coach of the Year. He's the best coach of the entire NBA.
That is earlier today, and we do factor Fouhy, and Manuch always writes the questions. That one, Fouhy was definitely a Fouhy. That is our Lerner & Rowe one call, that's all. Interact, need a check. Just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com. They can always help you, and you get a free consultation. Lerner & Rowe, one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. What's on tap tonight? It is brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And Bud Light is the official partner of the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's March Mania. Yep, we're still doing some basketball. It's a lot of fun. We've gone into April, and it is still basketball, and you can just have a great time with Bud Light. Once again, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Right now, D-backs have just gotten underway, and they already have a 1-0 advantage. Ketel Marte with a leadoff home run for the Snakes, and it is 1-0, and they are playing right now in the bottom of the first inning. You can listen to the game on our sister station, 98.7 FM, also on television. Manuch, what is it on Cox Cable?
It is channel 34 on Cox Cable.
And if you have DirecTV, 686. State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. What do you got there, Big
Well,
dog?
you have to call State 48 Roofing today for a free roof inspection before leaks hit. By the way, there's rain chances coming up.
Woo-hoo.
So keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, Arizona's #1 referred roofer. All you have to do is visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4828. That's 480-268-4828. Here's the question. You go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter or @Roc and Manuch on Instagram. What percentage of a chance do you give the Suns to come out of the play-in game and into the playoffs? Is it number one, 100%? Number two, 75% chance. 3, 50% chance. 4, 25% chance. Again, just go to @Roc and Manuch on X or @Roc and Manuch on Instagram. Jimmy, which way did you lean on this one?
I went 75%. I believe that they can win tomorrow night against the Trailblazers. I believe also it will not be easy, but I think because it is a home game, they can get it done. So I went 75%.
Yeah, I've got 75% as well, too, that hopefully they win tomorrow night. And then if they win tomorrow night, they're in.
Yeah.
They got San Antonio. If they lose tomorrow night, they still have a chance. So you're saying
we have a chance.
Yes. If they lose tomorrow night, they played the loser of the Clippers Golden State game. Boy, that's going to be a heck of a game there, too. So, Laz, which way did the peeps lean for our State 48 Roofing? It's your call question of the day.
The fans agree with you guys. About 67% chose 75%, and the other 33% or so went with 25%.
Wow.
So we got two of them on opposite ends of the spectrum there. I think they are going to 100% make it out. They got this.
Okay. The only thing is I'm suspect for size down low. Defense,
always a question.
They really struggle with defense, the size, the second chance points.
Yep.
The Klingon, the man from Mars, because he played like an alien out of his mind last time these two played. Yeah,
you gotta let that go.
Well,
That's back in February.
Well, the only way I can let that go is if they beat this Trailblazers team tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So I think those are some of the things that worry me a little bit. I feel they should win this game. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
It's going to probably be closer than a lot of people would like. But I think the rest that this team has had coming out, all hands on deck, is what Jordan Ott is saying. As Coach Fouhy was on earlier talking about that he was at practice. Everybody's good to go. Everybody's healthy. I think they can get this thing done and move on to play San Antonio. So I'm hoping after missing the play-in tournament last year that they can go ahead and get this. And who knows? Anything can happen once you get to the playoffs.
That's the key. I mean, look, we saw it a few years ago in baseball when the Diamondbacks snuck in the back door to get into the Major League Baseball
Did they
playoffs.
ever sneak in?
They did sneak in on the very last day and then went all the way to the World Series.
Well,
so,
you could say
look,
that.
it can be done.
Yeah, I mean, I could think of, heck, I can go way back when the Phoenix Suns, they beat the defending champion Golden State Warriors to play the Celtics in the 1976 NBA Finals. Nobody gave the Suns a chance to beat Rick Barry-led Golden State Warriors because they won the title the year before.
Right.
So they end up beating them. And they
Was that the Garfield Hurd shot?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was
against the Celtics.
That's the Celtics. The shot heard round the world.
Man, you're not kidding.
Did you get that? The shot heard.
I let it go by.
The world.
Yes.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
It was
one of those shots that. I'll tell you what's also interesting about that is that Paul Westphal called a timeout when the Suns didn't have a timeout. So what basically happened is the Celtics get a technical. they make it, but the Suns get the ball out.
Yeah.
So that's what led to Gar Hurd getting the shot, the turnaround shot, which tied the game and led them into the third overtime. So Paul Westphal, God rest his soul, just a bright basketball player, savvy basketball player for years and years as a player.
Right.
And then again as a head coach for the Phoenix Suns team, just phenomenal that he would think about that, because they go back and go, wait a second, there's no timeout. So the rule is the Celtics will call the timeout, get a tee. True, but the Suns get the ball out. So they got the ball out there on their side of the court for the half court. There lies the shot heard around the world by who? Shot that, Jimmy B?
Garfield Hurd.
Garfield Hurd.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Manuch, I'm working in Portland, Oregon, and I'm watching that game, and everybody where I was watching it at a refreshment stand just was going nuts. I mean, absolutely crazy, because that game, it wouldn't end.
Well, speaking of sports bars, refreshment stands, tomorrow we're going to be at Biggs over there at 83rd Avenue and Bell Road and at P83 to kind of be the pregame festivities for tomorrow night's game. Tip-off is at 7, so we'll be at Biggs, American Bar and Grill tomorrow. We'll catch up with Bob Nightingale, talk a little D-backs baseball.
I like it.
Kevin Ray.
Yeah.
The TV play-by-play voice for your Phoenix Suns. And then we're going to be off at 3 o'clock as we'll hand it over as the Diamondbacks will take on Game 2. Merrill Kelly led Game 2 against the Baltimore Orioles. So if you're in the neighborhood of Biggs tomorrow at 83rd Avenue and Bell Road, stop on by, say hi. But we'll have all the pregame festivities, the tailgate, if you will.
That's it. Yeah, that's good.
As we get ready for the Suns to hopefully beat the Portland Trailblazers 192-5. Something like that.
Is that your prediction?
Something like that. Hey, one more time, just to give a little pay homage to Dave McGinnis, one of the greatest persons I've ever met. Outstanding coach, outstanding commentator, broadcaster, all the above. We found out he'd been struggling with his health the last couple weeks. Was really struggling this morning. I found that out bright early this morning. He passed away right around 3 o'clock our time. Thoughts and prayers for Coach McGinnis and his family. Out of Tyler, Texas. He coached it all over the place. The defensive back coach at Indiana State, at K-State, coached with the Bears, came here with the Arizona Cardinals as a defensive coordinator, was the head coach, was the guy. He and Jake Plummer, they got that vote passed, Prop 202, to have that stadium out there, at State Farm Stadium that's out there, to win that game against the Redskins, be out there literally politicking for that stadium. Me and Jake and everybody else, we just had Frank Sanders on talking about anybody and everybody was out there making sure that they get out and vote. Got voted in, but we're going to miss Coach Mack, and I'm sure we'll talk to several people during the week, talk about the great legacy of one Dave McGinnis.
Once again, reminder, tomorrow, Biggs in Peoria, P83 district will be there starting at 1 o'clock. And then when the show's over, well, they're going to have the Diamondbacks game on. And then at 7 o'clock, NBA playoffs, the play-in matchup between the Suns and the Portland Trailblazers. We will see you again tomorrow at Biggs. Last nice job today. I can't believe I actually said that.
He must have got through the syllabus over the weekend. He's doing pretty damn good
so
far.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, not bad.
Surprising for you, being a Wildcat-educated individual.
I'm just glad he's recovered after what took place at the Final Four. I felt for the boy, but I'm glad he's back. He's back to normal. We are out of here. We will see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM, HD-2.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that